That's one by you.
I want you to walk up the dance.
I can't do more, Grab.
You can't
I
walk
gotta
up the
get the
wall?
40.
Oh, Jesus.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Virtuosity Podcast Show. We are live and direct.
Yeah.
We are remote today from beautiful Barbados, because I'm here in Barbados. And Kerwin is in
Grand
Cayman.
Cayman.
And
Yeah.
Ricky is all the way in
Germany.
Yes. What time it is in the morning, Ricky?
It is now like 2:45 in the morning.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
I know
Yeah.
you love me and I love
A
you.
little bit,
God
though.
boy it.
I sleep a little bit.
Oh my
I can
God.
make some money down here. Now I can make some bed.
You can make some bits.
I can make
You
some.
know what we had today, Ricky?
What?
I had your ultimate favorite.
No, she's very rude. Don't tell me nothing. No.
Yes, Jesus loves me. I had a roti today, buddy.
Listen,
Chef,
I go home.
check it out together.
I go home in February. I ordered 300.
You ordered 300?
Yeah,
Jesus.
300.
One time.
And if I get that, it's gonna be 550.
So that's what the
open it.
whole year roti?
What? I mean, I do home with an empty suitcase, man.
Jeez.
Listen, I think that Halu need to open a chefette in somewhere in Europe.
You know?
Yeah.
Look, exactly.
It's true.
Or you gotta find a way to post it here, man.
FedEx
know.
freeze drive. If
FedEx
Amazon could do it
in
with
a-
a lot of things, huh?
Yeah.
Or buy a Concorde or something called Chevette Concorde, man.
That's
He
an
got,
idea.
Express.
he got the money to buy Concorde.
Chefette Express.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Air Express.
I
I
hope
like
Halu
that.
listening to this.
We ain't getting Halu no more advertising.
You doing down there.
So Ricky,
Oh,
how have you been? I mean,
I
like,
am a good. No, that's good, girl. That's good.
we got years. I mean, like
Girl,
Kerwin, we
it's
got
in the
years and years
in
of history here.
in the making, man. Yeah, but
Exactly,
yeah,
and
good
then
now, man.
some.
No. Yeah, because right now I'm working for the biggest team partner in the whole of Europe. Yeah, called Fantasyland. So I'm the main singer for the park shows, and do all the vocals for the males and stuff for all the shows. So I was here for 6 years now. So I'm on the exclusive contract for 6 years. So I was here. Yeah. So every year my contract get renewed, and every year I got something different to do with the vocals, or my bosses give me I got all the creative freedom that I need, that she give me all the creative freedom to do all the original, the vocals for the singers and stuff, and the harmonies in the studio. So I just do all of that. So
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, because you just said you have the creative freedom.
Yeah.
A lot of bosses don't give people that freedom.
No.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, like when I first came here 6 years ago, they had this. I was playing the first show was about museum. I was playing the museum chief, the entertainer, and the ghost had died, right? And I had to try to convince the one of the guys that owned the museum, that one shot in the museum, that the ghost was talented, right? But he didn't believe in ghosts, right? So I had to play this ringmaster. I had to bring the ghost alive, and I was real arrogant and stuff, and I had to sing in German. I had to sing everybody, and I had to bring the ghost alive. So I started doing my makeup from then, right? So then my boss, because before I became the guy that did before me, he didn't do any makeup at all, right? So my outfit was like a top hat. So I started doing like my makeup. I do like little lines and little veins and stuff. So my boss started to watch me and see my creativity and see how I bring the things to fruition. And then the next year she started telling me, okay, Ricky, you know what? I want you to just show me what you can do. I just want you. So then they started like so every time we do a new show, the show like it's kind of like centered around my aesthetic. You know what I mean? So
right.
Which is it's an honor. So
yes, it is. I mean,
yes.
look at you.
Then,
I am so proud of you, Ricky. I mean, I don't gush enough, but I gush all the time.
But listen,
because for me, coming from where we came from,
yes, of course,
right?
Also, what's really funny, because I'll tell you something that I never told. That's why I started my podcast, as Quiet as Kept, because a lot of people don't know, right, that when I left Barbados, I was in a really dark place. Like I was traumatized. You know the stories with Barbados with me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then when I left Barbados and stuff, and when I went to England, I was working with my cousin. I got all these opportunities just to come in. I got opportunity to work with Simply Red. I got opportunity to work with Bonnie Tyler. I worked with Westlife, with Robbie Williams, with Phil Collins, and everything. And then I started to like feel appreciated. You know what I mean? Like I got a wave of appreciation. It was overwhelming for me, right? So then it was like, you know what, Ricky, I turned on a lot of contracts, I turned on a lot of contracts. I said, Ricky, no, wait. Something will come up that you can gravitate to and it comes. So I manifest the Lion King thing. Then when Lion King came and I got the part, that's when I said, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. I knew what I wanted to do. And then in 2002, and that's when I migrated to Germany. Then the rest is history, right? So, but I don't post a lot on Instagram and Facebook. If I post, it's because I got something to say, and I say it metaphorically or
Mm-hmm.
or subliminally, because I don't like, people in bars don't like my business, and people always got something to say, and I know my mouth real fast. And
Brisk.
I'm like, excuse me, we got to say no, yeah. So, with that being said, right, I have to like calm my nerves and stuff. It's like, you know what? Because I want to get on the Twitter wars and stuff with these people, and so it was.
Yeah, the cyber bullies. We call them the
Yeah,
cyber
and I mean,
bullies,
and the less that,
and we are frightened to fight back. So,
you know what,
but we
and the
we, we
less
take the
people,
high road.
right, less people know about me, the better it was for me too, right? Because a lot of things that I do too, like I was traveling, like for example, I worked with Joss Stone, and I had to do a show with Joss Stone, and I had to do a tour with Bonnie Tyler. Then I went to Liverpool to work with Spandau Ballet, and every single contract that we did, I had to sign an NDA, right? I was supposed to tell
Mm-hmm.
nobody nothing. I couldn't even say where it was going. When I get to we had a fake makeup thing at the customs. I was coming for a birthday party, and then I had to come. Sometimes I had to bring presents, like if we're bringing a present for a child, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
could tell them it was that serious, right?
Yep.
So I could sit. And with that being said, I like the idea of the enigma and not telling anyone nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't tell them about a lot of things for a long time. But came out on a lot of contracts. I got a lot of opportunities. Like I mean, major opportunities. I got this guy that saw me in London wanted to invest £500,000 for me to go to LA to work with Missy Elliott and Timberland, and I said, this is too much. I said, I just landed in London, just landed in London. So I was like, I don't know. I said, and then I thought I need therapy. I need to go to therapy because I had a lot of anxiety. I was and then leaving home and all that. Then I the thought of when I start to reminisce about my time in Barbados, I didn't get to see Kim no more. I didn't get to see this boy no more. I didn't get to see, it's like I thought that I was left Barbados, like nothing happened for me. So
Mm-hmm.
it was very, very traumatized. The first 2 years I left Barbados, I was traumatized like crazy, traumatized. Actually, traumatized.
I know.
I used to cry almost every day, right? But what kept me going is I had a lot of work. And as soon as I landed in London and I started singing in my cousin's band, work that people just say, who's this guy, blah, 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 blah. No. I could tell you guys some stories, like the crazy stories. That's why I said, I think it's time for me to voice, to everybody here. It come from me, it come from nobody
Mm-hmm.
else. It come directly from me, what I got to say, you know. So
Correct. Correct.
So that yeah, just I had a lot of epiphanies, a lot of things that happened to me that recently that I start to open up. Even here in my cast too, for 6 years, everybody thought I was an introvert. They may know but then I start to open up and they start to see the river. He said, where did I come from? I said, it was always here because like, just a different environment. And
Yep.
I got older too, and I
Correct.
become more reclusive, and I just go to work, come home. I don't go nowhere else. Go to work, come home, go to the studio. If I get a job or a little gala here, go to London, get my money, come home. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so it's when I know that I started, and then after this Charlie Kirk thing happened, I said, whoa.
I'm not laughing at the situation, mind you.
I know what you
I'm not
mean.
laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at you and that situation. And
Yes,
what I will say to you, bro, do not let fear, because
yes,
this is something real right now. People are using those situations to instill fear And people, please release that. That does not belong to you. That
Exactly.
does not belong to you.
But you know
Huh?
what, Kim? You know what is that trigger me? You remember this barbers. You remember the time behind the drill hall? We behind the drill hall,
Yes.
right? And you remember what happened to me that night, that
That
day,
was right after you won
right,
the Caribbean Song Festival.
right. I mean, no, this wasn't the Caribbean Song
That was
Festival.
before?
This was when it was with full swing. We was
It
playing
was
because
with full swing, but you
yes,
performed like you were still
we
you
was
were
supposed. No, you're the story. You tell your story. We was playing behind the drill hall, and we was
uh-huh.
and they had I had the band behind the drill hall that time, leading the crop over. Amma was the
Yes.
host, and then we was the band the night the
Uh-huh.
band. We had different bands that night. Our night was the Friday night, right? And then Amma said, listen, but you have to get full swing. And somebody said, "Man, want to rise? Let's see rise." So bullet so right, and somebody felt a bottle, right? Legit then said, Legit said to be, tell us, no, let me go off, right? I look at you said,
Hmm.
no, I let these people run me, right? So what
Hmm.
happened? It caused a riot. You got half one side of the hall was for me, and the other side was against me. So then it
Hmm.
started to cause the rap. People start fighting, pelting balls and rocks and stuff. Then they had to call the defense force. Remember the defense force came down and
Hmm.
formed two lines. Formed two lines. I don't. You were so. I remember what happened. You were so scared because let them. You said no, you want to go to Ricky. You want to go to Ricky. They asked why you took me was in the tent. The average
Hmm.
stay in the tent, right?
Hmm.
The back first game took me to my car, right? And then brought the car and tried to top over the car, right? That happened in Hundred Hall. The night that I got home, I got like 45 I got like 45 voicemails, threatening to kill me and everything. Threatening to kill me. Tell me don't come in Mirage, they're gonna kill me. Then I took the tapes, right? And I took them to the police station and the police laughed at me. So when I said Charlie Kirk, when I said I want about Charlie Kirk, you remember? Because if you remember me, Kim, I was always very outspoken. I was always very, very respectable. But when I got something to say, I
You
don't
can
care what
see.
anybody say. I don't care what anybody say about me. But you're not going to come and tarnish my reputation. You're not going to stamp all over my credibility. And you're not going to. I was very guarded when it comes to my credibility and my integrity. I protect my integrity a lot, right? So people can say what they want. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I never ever question. Nobody never ever made me question my life. I never said, Ricky, why do people? Never. But when you lie on me, and when you say something about me as a lie, that's when it starts to step up, right? So I think my resilience is back in the day, when I look back at it in hindsight, my resilience, it backfired because how I would represent myself or protect myself to the masses, it come off as arrogant and
Hmm.
the cocky. Oh, he Ricky Stoute, especially when they want a song contest, right?
Hmm.
Right. And then it would go on certain radio stations, and people, instead of ask my music and what my trajectory gonna be from here, people want to get in my business, right? So I
Hmm.
will always answer with a stupid question, right? A stupid question, get a stupid answer. So
Hmm.
people didn't like that. They don't like me to be. They don't expect me to respond the way they want me to respond, like, oh, please, 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 and blah blah blah, and be explanatory. I was never like that, right? So
Hmm.
that's what happened. So when I see Charlie Kirk thing happen, I said, see, that was traumatizing for me. It triggered me
It
because
triggered. It triggered
of my
you.
resilience. Yeah, my resilience and my ability to speak when I speak up. I don't want to speak up, and I was very confrontational. I can
Hmm.
tell you that because I never get behind the body back and say, I was like, you said this, blah 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 blah, So, and that was triggering for me. But so that's why. So, but that
Correct.
trauma, that aspect of my life, that traumatic aspect of my life, I don't really think about it anymore. That's in the past anymore. That's in the past.
Hmm.
Before, like when they first left Barbados, ooh, I couldn't sleep. I
Correct.
had something like crazy. So, but I passed that stage now. I'm 57 now. I passed that stage. I got a wonderful
You
job.
50 what? What was that? What was that you just said again? You 50
57,
what? Really?
57. Yeah. I got a wonderful job, girl. I got a nice place to stay. I got a nice cast. My cast, people that I work with is phenomenal entertainers, man. Boss dancers. My boss is amazing. Everybody treat me with respect. Everybody love me, you know. So I ain't got no complaints at all.
You were always lovable, Ricky. In my
Yeah.
opinion, always my boy, cause we used to get into trouble together. You
Yeah,
understand? And I would
girl.
always be like, say something about Ricky, say something about Ricky. I
Yeah.
did, right?
Wait, what that? What that? What
What
Kim
they
said?
say about my brother?
Kim
What
was
they
up.
say about my brother?
Kim was up. Ricky, look, because they didn't know, because you, I was walking in the front, right? You was going me. Ricky said, Kim was up. Where Ricky? He just said this one here. So just
That's the dynamic duo, boy. Cole, let me tell
what's
you
that, boy?
something. I was on the radio today with Joanne,
I saw a
and
little
she
bit of
was
it. I saw a
just
little
like,
bit. I saw a little bit of it. I saw a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
she was just like really making me remember those good old days. And I was like, listen to me. This is crazy. I mean, like, when you think about where we came from, we're in Teen Talent. Ricky was singing
Mm-hmm.
background vocals in Teen Talent
Right.
versus. And then I remember the year you came out and you sang that duet with
So for
it was
lover.
it was it was Sophie Lovell. And
Yeah.
I was like, that what you don't
Yeah,
get
because
me.
the boy never heard me sing before, because remember I
By,
used to
by,
do back and
by,
vocals.
by yourself, by
Yeah.
yourself. And I was like, boy, I was
Yeah.
like, boy, Stoute is the real triple threat here. Cause you got the whole look, you the
Yeah.
dancer, and now the vocals like
Yeah.
boom.
And
There
dress.
you
We
go.
dress hard and stuff, girl.
Exactly.
One thing,
And
never forget my part.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love those
but
days.
when it
And I
comes to
love when
dressing.
I used to call people by the surnames Esmeralda. You used to give
Yeah,
some
yeah. It's real
names.
small. I still do that, you know. I still
Colin,
do that. I still do that.
Miss Pooch first. That
Big
was
food
you.
first. Big food first. Big food. Man, I got some names for people too. So like my cast members too. Like if I don't, like the thing for me is like if someone has a significant special spot for me in my heart, I just
Mhm.
automatically give them a nickname, right? Like I will call you
Correct.
Kid. Nobody's gonna call you Kid. I just only boys call you Kid,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So everybody got a different. Everybody affects me differently. I don't treat
Hmm.
each person on
Hmm.
the same level. Everybody got
Correct.
somebody special. That's
Yep.
I guess that's just my personality, I guess. But yeah, but you know, I mean, yeah, sometimes. But I remember. Listen, I remember going full swing, boy. Like people don't talk about full swing, but let me tell you something here too. We had hello.
No, no, no. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah,
The phone was
so
ringing just now.
that's what took Kimmy. We need to do a really sit down and do it. Like they need to do it. Go back. I think what Barbara's missing, right? Is that okay? For example, because I was watching from the sidelines, right? I saw interviews with TC, Collision, Allison, with all of them, right?
Hmm.
I've
Hmm.
been listening to them, right? And I said to myself, "Man, but how you?" Because it used to confuse me, because I said, "How you get from there to there and you miss it?" Because I remember
Yeah.
certain things,
The in
right?
betweens.
Right. And I was saying to myself, but I see Allison do um, interviews before, but she never mentioned how she was in Teen Talent and she almost didn't even make it to the finals. She never mentioned that Square One was a hotel band, right? I mean, how you get but how you get a legacy or origins?
Correct. You don't tell
And
people the struggles because you make it seem as though like you just arrived here. You're
yeah,
not telling people, the struggles and the journey along the way that brought
right,
you to this stage. And that's what people missing
exactly.
out. People
And
come in
that's
now with an expectation that they can just be boom, right?
right. Them starting from us, like they want that they want to like rewrite history. They want to start from us, and that for me that's so so disingenuous, right? I would tell me I don't care. I would tell them. If they see this interview, it don't matter to me, because I would tell them to the face. I would tell them too, because I would tell them I
Correct.
would read it myself,
Correct.
because I ain't saying nothing. I ain't being salacious, and I ain't being malicious. I think truth, right? Because
Correct.
I would say, if I ever see Alison again, or if I ever see Edwin, or I ever see TC, say, wait, I saw an interview. How could you never say this? How could you never say this and say that, right? I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you a perfect example now. Then this is one of the things that, but then I had a realization, because I had to think about it. And I tell you what comes to this understanding. When we were growing up, right? When it was
Mhm.
Edwin's year, 1993.
Mhm.
We had
You mean
we
80? You mean 83? You mean
83,
83?
83, right? Is it
Teen Talent
93?
83.
83 or 93?
When he was in Teen Talent, it was 83.
No, Darren Holloway in 92, he won 93.
It gotta be 93.
93.
No, he did the Caribbean Song Festival in '92 because I did the Caribbean Song Festival in '93. He would have done Teen Talent in '83 or '82, 182.
All
When he
right.
sing, let her cry for she's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lady.
well,
Yeah,
cover, right.
right.
So, all right. So let's say
So that's the '80s, right?
right. So the thing is, right? It was Rosie, Nikki D, Sharp, um, Nikki D, right? It was
Uh-huh.
Rosie, Nikki D,
Chanel Clark.
Shirley Clark, right? Shirley, Arlette Clark, right? Then it was three of them, three girls, right? TC, four girls, right? Then
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Kim, I remember it was yesterday. Then it was a guy called Ben Harris. These are finalists, right? Ben Harris, Brian Carter, Blue Blood, right? Was Edwin, right? Right, the four boys. Right. So it's four boys and four girls. Remember correctly. Right. So it was Brian Carter, Ben Harris, Blue Blood, Edwin, right? Then it was Rosie, Arlette, Shirley Clark, and TC, right? So we used to hang out by my father on Wednesdays and Fridays. And then I think it was Brian. Brian started to sing. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You good?
Right. So Brian, we was there one day, and I remember Brian Carter saying, "If you feel like it can't go on, darling, reach out, reach out." So he started doing the four tops, right? And I think Rosie said, then Rosie, he was there like, just chilling. Then Rosie went, "Baby, baby love, my baby love, I need you, want you, I need your love," right? So then we had this back and forth, right? So then they come with the idea. I said, "What are we going to do this more time revival?" I was a dancer then. I wasn't no singing then, right? I said, "What are we going to do? I would teach you dance. The boys would do the Motown stuff like four tops."
Can you hear the
Then,
sound, Kerwin?
um,
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Because my
right.
microphone gone down.
It's
Me?
okay. Continue.
Hear me now? Yeah. So then Rosie starts singing, "Baby love, my baby love." Then Brian would start singing four tops. Then back and forth. Then I had this idea. We can do this Motown revival, right? So I would teach the guys the steps and the girls, right? And I had this medley that we were doing four tops and stuff. So we would rehearse at Daddy place Daddy every Wednesdays and Fridays. Daddy they would come, rehearse. Daddy would give us money. We'd go to Pizza Hut after, right? Her thing. So then Edwin keep messing with the steps, right? Before. So I said, no, not like that. So I start to take that. So we go, "Darling, reach out, I'll be there to love and comfort." And I would do the step, "To love and comfort you." Then everybody, but you can sing. But
Can
in
you
my
hear me?
mind, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can
you
you hear me,
good?
Ricky?
Yeah, I can hear
You
you.
can hear me? I
Yeah,
can't
Yeah.
hear you.
yeah, hear me.
Kerwin?
Yes.
Hello?
You're there.
You
You
hear
can
me?
hear everybody.
I can't hear anything coming from both ends.
Well, really?
Like my side is muted.
Crazy.
Let me exit. Continue talking, Ricky. I'm gonna exit and
Okay,
re-enter the studio.
right.
Cool. Mhm.
So Curry, yes. So the thing is, right. So everyone would mess with the steps, and because I was a dancer then, so I was choreographing the steps for the Motown revival. So
Mhm.
then I would do like lyrical dances. So I would go like, I would like one, "I'll be there to love." I would do the hands movement and everything. So then Edwin said, "Yeah, but you can sing." So subconsciously, I'm a dancer. I was a trained dancer that back in the day. So I was my whole trajectory was about dance. I didn't want to sing at all, right? So I said, "Sing what I'm gonna sing." So then Rosie said, "Yeah, Ricky could sing," because at that time when me and Rosie was at public school, me and Rosie just sing at public school. Like, we was like 10, 11, right? I just Rosie I wasn't interested in the singing. So then they tricked me, right? Used to mess up the steps for purpose so I could go and sing, so I could step in,
Uh-huh.
right? So then I was like, "Oh man, it's not." And then I will. "If you feel like you can go, darling, reach out." And they were like, "Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out," right? I didn't realize what I was doing, right? So
Uh-huh.
then everything, "Hello, you could." Then Brian went and told my father that like to sing, right? That the
Uh-huh.
next thing I said, man, if he take up my mic and sing, man, you drop him dead, right? No, me no being stupid, no, and gullible and ignorant. I said, I want to see, I want to see if they can have, I want to see if they can get manufacturers. No. So me, my ignorant self. So for this was like a whole year, right? And then Edwin will always come and push me and push me and push me. Like he would see me and he would like, man, you should sing, you should sing, you should sing, you should sing, you should sing. At this Edwin, right? I said, man,
Uh-huh.
that's not my thing. That you think that's not my thing. I'm a dancer. So every year I would do couple of part, right? With the dancers when the dance, you know, the singers are singing. We got the dancers would come and dance when you sing for couple of part, right? This is what
Mm-hmm.
happened. This will start everything. Edwin was that we was doing a couple of part one year. It was in 1992, 1992. Yes, no, 19. Yes, yeah, you're right. You're right. Because it was on the poster for the couple poster for 1992, and somebody wrote a song about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Edwin was one of the guest performers at couple of part. He sang he sang a James Brown song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had to do the spacing. You know, at the night, at the end of the night, you should get you come upstairs and get your envelope for the money, right? After a
Mm-hmm.
couple of, I do 13 dances that day. I got $75. Every single one song, I got 500, and I got every track by mistake, right? So when they open the envelope, and I see every year for, I said every year for $500 for what? And it was that was the birth of me. Then I said, no, what I can slowly try to gradually get into this singing thing to see what it's about because I was all about dance, right? So then I start to do backing vocals and they would not let anybody see me. So people like trying to peep and see who's that buddy that second voice or third voice, and they would see all these things, all these harmonies. Then I say, you know what? If I can really own my craft, right? Because I really don't know nothing about singing, I don't know about breathing or nothing. I know that I had this ability, but I needed to perfect it. So I went to Doris Professor for 2.5 years. Nobody didn't even know that, right? I
That's
was
the
studying with
girl.
Doris.
That's the
Right. That's
lady.
my girl,
That's my
boy.
people too.
Right. So then
Can
when
you
I
hook me up? I want to go see her.
no,
She she
she passed away. Trust
Oh,
me.
sorrow.
enough years
Yeah.
ago.
Wow.
Enough
Yeah.
years ago.
Aye, aye, aye.
And then after 2.5 years, I never forget. I was with Doris. Classic was in our class too, and Classic left after 2 weeks.
Murder.
I go, yeah.
I was in
Um.
there because I was told I mentioned their names today, Chocolate Affair. The
Mhm.
traumas that we go through. I was told in Chocolate Affair that I was too green,
Mhm.
right? And I needed because I had the natural ability,
Right.
obviously, and I needed to be more refined. So they
Mhm.
sent me to Doris to
Right.
do her
Oh,
course.
I remember that. I remember the tip
I,
of
I
Doris
am
too. Yeah.
so thankful
What?
to be
Doris was the
told that because I could never. I mean, like, if the vocalist in Barbados had gone to either her or Norma,
Mhm.
they would be in great standings because in the longevity of your vocals, they teach you
Yes.
what not to do in
Tim.
terms of
Tim.
you ain't supposed to drink no cold drinks, room temperature,
Listen,
you
we
even
were
the hot tea,
nothing.
room
Listen, but I could tell you, but
the
I just want you to.
breathing,
Yeah. So
singing
just
from
get
your
back to
diaphragm instead of singing from your throat.
what? And then so that whole thing happened, and then but I said to say I want to make that example. One the example is because every time I tell some people my trajectory, like when I what started me and what getting into this business and what shaped my reality, right? I will always reference this time because the reason why is because we had made a pact, right? After the final that we was going to carry on rehearsals and we was going to take the show on the road, like do some shows and stuff as they want. Because it was a really good, ask Rosie,
Mhm.
the girls would do the girls would do the Supremes and then the Marvelettes, and the boys would do it, but I was the choreographer, right? So
Mhm.
when Edwin won, everybody disbanded. Everybody went to one separate ways, right? So I left me hanging. I said, what do you have? Because in my mind, I think, because we made a pact. Every Wednesday and Friday, we just relentlessly, right? Every
Uh-huh.
Wednesday and Friday. So then, when I look back and I see, I think my anticipation, like when I listen to the interviews, like especially when Edwin and Blue Blood and them do the interviews, and they don't mention that, right? Artists don't mention it. I always think to myself, wait a minute, but that was a big part. We are all growing up in the industry. That was how you could live. And then I start to realize, right? It wasn't a big part for them, but it was a big part for me.
For you,
So,
correct.
so
It
my
was
expectations was too great, right? So then I said, okay, I don't have an understanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason why they live apart, or they don't mention it, or they probably it was never of any significance, right? But it's fine. You can choose what in your path, or you could choose what in your path to your in your career, what is significant to you. I get it, right? I get it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? But having said that, however, you got to remember that the things that you left leave out is the most important things. Those are the things that actually help you with your singing, help you your focus, help you your performance, right? But you left it out, and it's fine,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
It's
Like
fine.
today, I was telling, remembering I used to be like a deer in headlights, real
Mm-hmm.
stiff on stage, and Satchmore is who snatched me out of that because he was like,
Yeah, I hear about that. Yeah, I
he
hear.
used to, he used to write wicked in the nation, boy. Listen to me, used to get so. Listen, the reviews used to either
Mm-hmm.
crush you or make you.
Yeah,
You understand?
he
You
was right.
either had to have
He was a bad critic boy. He was
a
bad.
broad back because he would
Mm-hmm.
write up articles of the teen talent performers,
Yeah.
and it was not the nicest things to read sometimes. And let me tell
Mm-mm.
you, he was like, Kim Derrick need to put pep in her step. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He was harsh boy.
huh?
But the thing for me for him that I remember with him, right, is because it was Richard Stoute's son, right?
Correct.
And he would always, I would go and do my thing, and then you got, people like this person there. He would like and TC sang her, and then TC brought the crowd. And Rosie had the people on their feet, and then it come to me. Oh, and Ricky Stoute, the summer Stoute, he did his thing.
I listen to
Always two
you.
lines, but that was all, and that's another thing I remember too in Barbados, because as Quaz kept when I was coming up in this industry in Barbados, right? People knew me as a dancer. Nobody never really take me serious, right? Everyone like,
Correct.
oh yeah, Richard Stoute, that's Richard Stoute's son. Yeah, he's a wannabe singer. He trying to sing. He should. There was listen to drop a lot of remarks like, Eric, you should stick to the African thing and all. Yeah, all these things, right? But so I was
So
telling
let me ask you a question before we go further, right?
him,
Did you ever imagine that your influence was stretched so far after stepping behind the mic?
no, not in a million years.
Wow.
Not in a million years, because like remember, because the thing is, I even when I was growing up, even when I was coming in this industry, because you had like the Every Years and the Rupert Clarks and all them and all these singers, right? All these male singers, Brian Carter's and stuff. And then I didn't want to be compared to them, so I had the best of both worlds. I think I was the only male singer dance at the time, so I had I said in order for me to separate myself to perform my own lane, right? I used to sing and dance. I will
Correct.
or do one or two. You remember came out to do my
Listen,
part.
the
I had
freaking
that.
choreography that we used
I
to
do
do on
part.
stage used
Yeah,
to got people head
choreography.
teeth.
I had my
Teeth.
headset. Yeah, I had headset. I would do shows and I would sing. And so or if I get booked for a gig, I would ask the promoter, or you want me to sing or dance or both, right? So that's what kind of separated me from them.
Mm-hmm.
So and but I never really felt, I never read appreciation, and then that's why when we got into full swing, right? I knew that we was gonna get some backlash, because then me and Kim was always the underdogs. We was never the what's the word looking for? We was never the in crowd. No, we was never the it people. We
We
was
used to be the standalone ones.
right,
We
right.
we we
You had everybody group, right? Then you had full swing, right? But at the head,
correct.
about as quite as kept. We had full swing, but nobody never ever give us our props either. But we were working 7 days a week. We never had a vocal breakdown. We never had to come off the road, right? Because we were
Correct.
strong. We had an aesthetic.
Used
We
to
had a
work
concept.
seven nights a week for two
Yeah,
years straight
for
without
two
a
years
break.
straight. Because we had to put
Without a
equipment, right?
break. Uh-huh.
We had to put equipment. A and B, because
Correct.
we left Philip and be and form swing, right? And
Correct.
we
And that's what
and
we
we
was
still
talking
we
about
don't
today.
work,
We were like, we went on our own
right?
and we formed the band and we had to try to, you
And
know, get
and
things going quickly, paying for equipment
what? And let me tell you something. Remember we worked for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of prep. They'll pay us the first 2 weeks. We take that money.
correct to put
But
it
we
back
worked so
in.
hard. We worked so hard. And then me and Kim. And then the funny thing is that me and Kim always had our voices always matched really well. We had best harmonies, and we had nobody was doing what we was doing at the time, right? But
Even
at the
this,
end of the
even
year,
before Full Swing, when we do that
yeah,
thing at Richard Stoute Teen Talent, that was, I think that was 1991.
yeah.
when we sing I'll Be There and forget the whole
Yeah, 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 yeah,
listen,
yeah.
yeah. In
And
that
I
dress
remember,
that Adri had me looking like
yeah,
a real. Oh no.
right, that dress,
Yeah.
and
When
that's the
when
first,
when
and that
Adri, no, it wasn't Adri, that was Wayne Smith.
Will Smith,
Wayne
right,
Smith made that jacket that I wore, a black and white
mm-hmm,
jacket, and I
right,
had on a black tight
yeah, yeah,
dress.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like
You heard
that's
short,
before
yeah,
Iman. That's before Iman do the number for my
yeah.
body.
Let me tell you, man. Listen, and that was I think that was the night that when we did all be there that night. That was the night I got a message from Nicholas was the judge that night, Nicholas
Hmm.
Branker, and I
Hmm.
got a message from Nicholas. Was somebody sent me? I think it was some. What's his sister name again?
Melanie.
Melanie. Melanie come and told me
Hmm.
that Nicholas really loved my work. That's the first time he ever seen me sing, and he was glad to get to see me. He heard about me, but he never see me. Right? So
Hmm.
that was an
Hmm.
honor, whatever. But I never really do nothing about to please the body because, like I said, when it was in full swing, even before it was in full swing, it was in Channel 6 before full swing when it was Colleen Brewster.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
It was always, I was always there. We was always the underdog. Was never, but and the funny thing that got me right is that as Quaz is kept, and I could say this with, I would say this with my chest. All of them used to come and watch me.
Correct.
When we was in, not even coming, we were coming to peep or they were from the window, right?
Correct.
We had, yeah, we had course was birth. That whole formation too. I tell them to the face too. Want to get want to trajectory, want to reference full swing because before when we come to the scene, when it wasn't doing the dance steps, right? When we come and watch me and want to start doing stuff because me and Kim was the only person doing choreography onto that stage. We would do it and we would do
Correct.
we said hold on to your love. Oh, my first mistake was we said hold on
Correct.
to. We should do the shoulders and
Correct.
stuff. We do the running man. We should do the kid and play it, right? Then we had the whole breakdown. We was the only band that was doing that breakdown.
What a night breakdown. The
Yes,
Jeanette Jackson
and the
rhythm, the Jeanette Jackson Rhythm Nation
yes, and we had
breakdown.
the well that's what we had on we had on that little
Yep.
butterfly. Remember how you could
Correct.
break people used to scream, man, because we had it on there. We used to break on all the dance, the pepper seed, and then we do the butterfly, and then we do we had man that's sometimes boy. And people used to come to see, not only to hear us, but to see what
But
we
to see
doing.
us, because the
Cause we
clothes, because Kerwin, the
oh
imagery, we
Mm.
didn't
yes,
just used to, we didn't just used to want to be like anybody else. The imagery, we are
yes,
clothing.
we
I don't
we had a
remember
concept. We used to
the
dress like
concepts that we would work on for the stage. We were into
yes,
neck and all
we
this kind
cool.
of thing.
Color coordinate. We so always talk about we can wear. Come say, oh, let me green. Let me wear green to this. We do dark. We wear brown. We do earth tones. That we will always color coordinate. Right.
I started
We
to say this like Kathy God, but you still look like somebody straight out of the, somebody's Sunday school when she
you
first
know
come
what
in the
I'm
band. And I used to go call Kathy once and tell you come
saying?
in, come here.
But they
You are
think,
bringing them. You're bringing them
yeah,
the image of this
yeah, yeah,
band.
yeah.
Come, let me
We do
help
come.
you. Because I was like, I
Oh
ain't
my
trying to
God.
beat up on. I wasn't trying to beat up on her. I was just trying to
Mm,
help her. I was like, watch,
right.
see what we dress in. Come,
Yeah.
let me help you.
Yeah.
Cause you gotta get that. And she's like, but I look better than you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
prettier than you. Right? I used to be laughing because I thought
Hello.
that you were
She
such a
was
little
young.
girl,
She was
right?
young,
But
man.
anyway,
She
it
was
was
young.
like we were so like
Yeah, but
so
her
serious
voice,
about
our
what and
yeah.
discipline about what we do our craft when we are on stage, how we perform, how we carried ourselves on that stage,
Yes,
you
the
know?
harmony. We had our harmonies was tight.
Top
That's the thing that got me.
tier
That
harmonies.
we
Wow.
nobody talks about. We listen. We changed up the game a lot in Barbara, and I'm telling you, them bands got a lot to thank me for. They don't reference us. They don't give us our props. But I know for a fact. I would tell them to the face too, right? All of them.
They have never been another era, and I will
No.
say this like you with my whole chest.
Mm.
Since the 90s
No, boy.
in Barbados, there has never been another era
Nope.
of entertainment in Barbados like
Nope.
ours.
No, never.
And it literally saddens me when I
Mm.
am home and it's like you can only pick from like a couple bands that on your
Yeah.
break. It's
Listen.
basically everybody singing karaoke
Yeah.
because
Listen.
people singing to tracks. I mean, I understand they got to do what they got to do to survive to pay the bills, but my thing is that in a tourism driven
Mm.
country where you coming from 7 nights of entertainment, like as I was telling Joanne today, it muffin. And we not standing up for ourselves and saying this is not what we will not accept. We need
Right.
to bring back entertainment in the country because you got an influx of tourists coming. You're saying that we're doing so well and we got millions and millions of tourists, or how much people coming in here. You just what is just food and a
Yeah.
little lime and karaoke. This is what we come to
Listen,
top tier entertainment gone to.
Kim, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember. I had a friend. I have a really good friend of mine. She's from England. Her name is Helen.
I
Helen,
remember
right?
Helen, yes.
Helen. Listen, Helen. I ran into Helen about 2-3 years now ago. Right? She phoned me on Facebook. 30 years later, right? And I went to hang with Helen. I talked sometimes to her. I spoke to her for a long time. I got to call her though. And they went back to Barbados. Helen and Jane. Remember Helen and Jane? They went back to Barbados
Hmm.
and showed
Yes,
me a
too.
video. Showed me a video shipping Ghost Town.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
St. Lawrence Gap is no longer Ricky. I mean, that's that part.
Listen,
It's
St.
like
Lawrence used to be burst.
you have tons
Yes.
of restaurants. No, you have tons of restaurants still in St. Lawrence Gap,
Mm-hmm.
but you can count. You had After Dark. You had Shipping. You had the
Yeah, you had
Reggae Lounge.
regular
You
lounge.
had Jambalea's Rum Shop.
Jambalaya, yeah.
You had
Mhm.
Cafe Sol. You had
Mm-hmm.
about 5 different places in a stretch that you will see live entertainment in St. Lawrence
Mm-hmm.
Gap alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to
And
forget,
right now,
it's House that used to do the karaoke.
well, houses karaoke now evolved
Mm-hmm.
from After Dark, right?
Okay,
Because
yeah,
we
yeah,
talking
yeah.
After Dark inside the actual
Before.
backyard of After Dark, where you used to
And
have the
then the
St.
reggae
Lawrence,
lounge, it was
Right.
yeah,
two doors
St.
up.
Lawrence Music Festival.
Mm.
Me used to look forward to things like that,
Yeah.
right? And so when I went in St. Lawrence Gap, I was here for Christmas, and I took a stroll through the Gap, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
we've turned the Gap into a place where retirement people go to stay
Mm-hmm.
because the noise pollution they complain about. So
Mm-hmm.
they're not loud noises after a certain time. You
Wow.
selling our Party Central, that was our bread
Yeah, that
basket
was
in
off the Central Grill.
Barbados,
Yeah.
into
Yep.
a condominium location, right?
Mhm.
My thing is
Crazy.
market it towards people who are party people. It's like you go and stay in Bourbon Street in Louisiana in the French
Mm-hmm.
Quarters. You wouldn't expect to be in a quiet place. That's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Party Central. When
Right.
you go to Bourbon Street, you know that down there's Party Central. So you know that if you're a tourist and you're going to stay down there, don't expect quiet. So
Right.
I'm saying instead of just selling a condominium in an area like that, you should have been telling people, "Hey, this for Party Central. This is where you
Right.
go. It's like going in the village in New York.
Right.
You
Yeah,
understand?
exactly. Exactly. Yes.
The
But
concept,
people
it
just
blew my
about taking the
mind.
money, you know.
It blew my mind that we just like
It's
literally
crazy.
just shut down entertainment in Barbados. We
Mm-mm.
didn't have no outlets down there. I
It's
think
crazy. That is
Her-
crazy.
Herman is still doing, because well, the Reggae Lounge is no longer Reggae Lounge. I think it's called Crave now.
Mm-hmm. I went there for a long
And
time.
I think it's called Crave or something else. But the point is that they have a band down there. I think the right side of Red
Uh-huh.
plays there's a reggae band, and they're excellent, Ricky. That's the only
Mm-hmm.
band, and I go to Mojo's and I hear them at Mojo's,
Mm-hmm.
and you know. But apart from that,
There's another band that plays there as soon as you go in past Yellowbird Hotel. There's
mhm,
a place on the left hand side. There's a band that plays in there. I think it's on Friday or Saturday night.
mhm.
I can't remember exactly.
What kind of
I
band
think
it
it's
is?
The Dive.
Huh?
I think it named the Dive, right?
What do they play?
They play all kind. They play covers for all kind of people though.
What you
Okay.
know?
But I was there. What watched them play. I think it was last year or earlier this
Okay.
year.
Come
Huh?
my brother's playing a band called Third Stone.
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
Reggae
Fair
band.
enough.
Jamal is the drummer from Third Stone.
That's the band that I'm talking about. Ricky Jamal is playing with
Right.
the right side of Red. That's the
Really rock.
reggae band, and it's excellent. I hear you up and everything. I was like, wait. He was like,
Yeah.
really?
He's a
You
very good
remember?
drummer.
He's like, Kim. I was like, I was remembering you when you was Ricky Little
Yeah.
Harder, brother.
I
You
hear
understand?
I heard that he's a
Because
really good
nobody
drummer.
knows that he is Ricky's brother.
Yeah. He's a really good drummer. I saw him drum like once or twice.
Excellent drummer.
He's a
Excellent
Rasta.
drummer.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
Rasta,
he's
yeah.
a Rasta.
I know Jamal one. We
Yeah.
That's
did
Ricky's
some stuff
brother.
at
But
some point.
Jamal self-taught. My Jamal father brought him his first drum set when he was 2 years old. And Jamal would go by the radio and listen to drums and run back to drums and play with here. It was only two.
Wow.
That
Correct.
he taught there. Yeah, he
Yeah,
taught me
but
that.
he bad pan them though, for real.
Yeah,
Yeah. That band is so tight. I love that band.
I heard that
And
man. I heard from you.
yeah, that band is so good. And then it's like all over Barbados because I went to because Hoggett playing his solo thing,
Mm-hmm.
different places, and then you have my girl Lynette. She
Mm-hmm.
plays at she. I used to play in Nishi's before I left Barbados, and
Right.
she's there now on Friday nights.
Who Lynette?
But
Okay.
again,
Yeah. Oh,
she
listen, I
she
went.
doing the
There's a girl.
tracks
I
thing.
didn't
She
remember.
doing the tracks thing. They're doing the
Right. There's a
tracks
girl.
thing. So it's like not no live band. You are basically doing tracks.
Right.
People like to feel that live band energy. You know,
Yes.
it's like
But
that is
we're not
what is
taking.
lacking in Barbados right now. It is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I come
But
back.
my thing
I took.
is okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My
I
thing
can hear
is
you.
for me. I know you can hear me. My thing is for me is like, can we turn it around? Can we is it Barbados now a place where now if we want to be creative and we want to invite people to be bands like that again, is
Mm-hmm.
like you think it can happen that era can come back again?
Mm, it could happen, though, but we got to really. I think it could happen, but the bands have got to be serious about the bands have got to be serious about what they're doing, right? The craft, and they got to be
Hmm.
tighter than they can't come back. They got to really up the ante in terms of the arrangements, right? And play tight,
Hmm.
and the singing got to be on
Correct.
point. The singing got to be on point, and the visual, no, half-ass light here, half-ass light there, you know.
Hmm.
They got to
How
be
they
on
dress
point.
too, because
Yes.
I am all about packaging.
Yep.
Because behind the scenes, you rehearse, you sharpen your acts, you sound good. But
Yep.
when you come to people gigs, my advice to future want to be or already be musicians and entertainers, try and look the part, man.
Yeah.
Dress a certain way, you know. It's swag that people know from the time you step on that stage, you are an entertainer, you are a musician, not that you look like
Mhm.
come from a town because that's
Right.
what's happened. You can't differentiate between you and your audience, and that's the part where people don't understand. That's why we get paid.
Yes.
That's where we get paid when we look the part is a whole package, and just you come
And
in.
exactly, and that's the thing because I remember that look, this happens back to when full swing again. Nobody dressed
Mhm.
like me at that time. People
Correct.
used to come to nobody. People used to come to the ship, and not only are the coach hosts, not only to hear us, but our to see us, but to see what we wearing next. And I remember we were walking on stage and people screaming at what we wearing then. Just and
Correct. I
we never stopped
remember
there
the
yet.
night my father come in the coach house one night. I had on a green cat suit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And my sister decided I'm gonna bring Daddy to the coach house to have
Mm-hmm.
dinner first, and then he's gonna come and see Kim's band. And I went
Mm-hmm.
in the dining room at the coach house to say hi, Daddy. And my father was like, "What's that you wearing?
Yeah.
You better go and put on clothes. Go and put on clothes. You
Yeah.
naked." And I was like, "But Daddy, go on clothes. I go on clothes." Daddy said, "I can see every part of you. Go on." I was listen, don't get twisted. I was well covered. And I had on a
Mm,
waistcoat too. It was a
right.
cap suit.
The capsule with the
Imagine
green,
you know say when my
with the
boss
green
had the
trim.
door, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get around home.
Nah, lip
The
tab.
young entertainers now think that being sexy means being half naked.
Mm.
There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
mean not that I'm old.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah.
sexy. I like, I like to push the envelope, but I find that everybody like now trying to do this what is called the Lil Kim or the Nicki Minaj's and the half naked.
So they're following other
Yeah.
cultures.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
garbage raffle.
That's the bad John Code. I like she bought a shirt though. I don't get
I
twisted.
like Sheba. I like Fifth. I think she's a great singer and everything,
Huh?
but I think she's a great singer. I saw her. I didn't. I knew of her. Heard of her, and then I
Mm-hmm.
remember someone. She keep coming up on my feed one time, and on Instagram. about 2 or 3 years ago, and I just went check show and everything.
You know, she was a
Right?
Banks girl before, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A
I said,
Banks
oh,
calendar girl.
yeah. And I said she got a message. I sent her I sent her a message and tell her, that she's a really good singer and stuff and blah 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 blah. But she never connect on nothing. And then she go, I hear the song, here we going on. Who is that? And then whenever I
Because
press
you
the
see,
thing,
again, I go back to saying we are trending, following trends instead of being the trender. And I
Correct.
mm-hmm,
love the song, mind you, but for me personally speaking, if you feel that you got to lower your standards in terms of vocalists, if you can
mm-hmm.
sing, sing.
She
But
can
a lot
sing,
of
sing,
people
boy.
say, well, you got to do bashment.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do bashment. In order to
I
get
just,
attention, you got to do
I
bashment.
just,
Right?
but
And
yeah,
a lot of the singers, the female singers now, that have so much potential,
right,
right? Thinking, and that music has limitations
yeah.
only
But
to
the thing for me,
Barbados,
yeah,
because
because
only Bajan crowd can
when,
go to them shows in New York, Boston,
mm-hmm,
England. You understand? Yeah, they can get the jobs, they can get the gigs and stuff like that. But if you're thinking about global market,
yeah,
global
longevity, yeah,
marketing, right?
mm-hmm,
And for people to make our music more palatable for everybody in the
mm-hmm,
world to want to follow us, right? Or want to like,
mm-hmm.
hey, we gotta get with the program and understand it's not 166 square miles, 275,000 people we're catering to.
Right,
We're catering to the world. So
right,
100%.
nobody ain't gonna understand our lingo. We understand our lingo.
right,
So we have to make it in a way that is like Arrow singing hot hot hot,
right.
right? Or
Like the
Kevin
Texas,
Little
yes,
turn me on, or Kevin Little
yeah,
turn me on, or Rupi tempted to touch. Look at there is a blueprint right there in front of your
mm-hmm,
face.
Correct.
When you
yeah,
see a soca song make it internationally, listen and watch and learn,
mm-hmm,
because that it ain't gonna be that kind of bashment.
yeah. But for
Bashment
You
will
me,
see,
only
just
cater
yeah,
now,
to certain
but
people, huh?
and just
yeah,
now,
but
Ricky mentioned something also important. You reached out to the lady and said, "Hey, I think you have an amazing voice or whatever,"
yeah,
and she never responded.
yeah.
No,
Stuff like
She
this.
responded, but very
listen,
nonchalant. It was like,
Kerwin, I can tell you saying, but Beatrice and Ricky know this too, right?
Mm.
Ego,
yeah,
ego, arrogant
Um,
she,
with
yeah,
no
Sometimes these
reason.
she
things come together,
responded, but
man.
it wasn't like
We live in
she just said thank
166
you.
square miles. It's not hard to be
Yeah,
popular in Barbados. You understand?
right.
Yeah.
And when people think they have arrived, all of a sudden nobody can't give them no critique, no advice, no nothing. Ricky and
Mm.
I came from an era that if somebody
Mm-hmm.
come to us, like let's say for instance somebody who's older than we are, and say, hey, you know what, I think you sound good, but you know what, you could try doing it this way. I remember
Right.
doing the seminar with Roberta Flack, and Roberta Flack ripped me
Mm-hmm.
to shreds,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. It was
And I
it. I
was
was
like,
that idea.
listen boy, you got
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
no sharp when you ask him that you think that you could sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I
But back in
remember
the day,
one
we
time
had
I
a
ain't gonna
lot
call
of we had
nobody.
open
I ain't gonna,
mind.
I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna call nobody name, right? I quite a few of them that came after me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mentored quite a lot of them after I left Teen
Mm-hmm.
Talent,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember someone telling a particular female vocalist in the shipping that was performing with a band, I think Kim would be able to help you, and she was like, Kim, who's Kim Derrick? What is the last thing she do? Who's Kim? Like trying to like. I was like, she said that. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, right. And
Wow.
I was like but I was like, you know what? That is to show you that the younger generation are out of touch.
Mm-hmm.
We prided ourselves on being around older, wiser musicians and
Mm-hmm.
entertainers so that we can learn. I
Mm-hmm.
studied, like literally, as I was saying the other night to someone, I studied. If I wasn't sure about my own style,
Mm-hmm.
I emulated and I studied the singers that I loved,
Mm-hmm.
like Tina Turner,
Mm-hmm.
like
Regina
a, you
Bell.
understand? A
Regina
Regina
Bell.
Bell, Dionne Warwick,
Young Warwick. Yeah.
Shaka Khan,
Shaka
you
Khan,
know.
yes.
So it's like when you are now starting and you're not sure, mentoring is something that we do, but we start the elders start to hold back. You know why? Because the young people think they come and they know everything,
Yeah, but
right?
see,
Nobody
the thing
can
is,
correct them or nobody can give them the little, 2 cents.
right?
Like, hey,
Mm.
But I can say I know to just pick it back off you, Kim, because like I said, I was watching in the rings, and like the same get back to Faith again. It's like when I first
mm-hmm,
heard her song, right? I heard
mm-hmm,
I had to listen to it. I listened to it like 3 or 4 times just to get a feel of it and everything, right? And I thought, like I said, there's something very not something disingenuous about it for me, right? So for me to have an opinion about it, I had to go into her Instagram, and I went back to her Instagram and listened to her sing
mm-hmm,
some other stuff, listen to her other stuff, right? And I was
mm-hmm,
like, then start to compare that what she's singing now to what she
mm-hmm,
sang previously, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How she was since sitting the part. She had a song that it was a song that she had 2 years ago that was so nice too. Then she had some Christmas stuff that she don't her could sing, right? And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, how can you,
But she
how can you
wasn't
like,
capturing attention. She
yeah, but
thought
how
that she had
it's
to
like
go that
that's what I'm
route in
saying.
order to get attention.
But what I'm saying is that okay, that's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to what trying to say about this song in particular, she didn't do that, right. If you got to commit to it and you got to really believe what we're saying, you got to convey that message. If you sing to God, it just don't sound like her. It just don't. It's not somebody. It's like somebody that can't curse, that doing
Hmm.
custom cursing, that can't curse.
Correct.
It's like well,
Correct.
give my ras. So, that's the first. That the first you hear that the first you hear that word, right? It's definitely so. Because she said,
They don't even pronounce it properly.
two goblins and ras. Oh, that don't sound.
It don't sound right coming from that.
It don't sound.
It
It
don't
don't.
listen on
From
them.
her, it don't sound. She said two. She said two goblins and ras. Oh, that's a bit. Like, what the hell? Like, it's like it really don't sound. Cause like, if somebody wants to say two, if somebody wants to say two goblins, it's a two goblins and ras. Oh, it's different. Two
The
goblins and
Rockers.
ras. Oh, when she said two goblins and ras. Oh,
Listen, that's why I love my lyric. Lyric is
let me tell
150%
you something, boy.
Bajan. And they can't take it from me.
Let me tell you something. They know, I label his song. His style. I call it dialect soca.
Yeah, let's
Correct.
look up.
Yeah, that's
Correct. Because
because
that, I
to
mean, like,
me,
you are Bajan when you could understand every single lyric.
listen,
So
Mhm.
lyric.
lyric is the greatest exponent of that art form here.
Correct. You
I,
ain't telling no
I,
lie. No lies
I
are
his
told.
song, his song so good. His song sweet, sweet,
Authentically Bajan.
great.
Even when he was
Yes, yes, yes.
doing, even
Mhm.
when Lil Rick was doing dance hall back in the day.
Mm,
Cause remember he come from a dance hall, a Bajan
right,
dance
that's what.
hall
Yeah.
background. Him and Peter Ram. And then they
Mm,
entered the soca arena. What I loved
mm.
about him is he kept it authentically
I'll take it.
himself
Yes,
200%. Cause it's
yes,
like Quick Sam, Don't You Be Back. And
yes.
you
Mhm.
remember them songs?
I
Yeah,
like Don't Be
man.
Hunted Trap.
Huh?
His song Don't Be Hunted
Don't
Trap.
behind
That's
the
my
truck.
favorite. Don't Be Hunted Trap.
Correct.
Don't behind the truck. I mean,
Don't Be Hunted
what,
Trap.
what,
That's
what?
that boy.
That no, that was Peter Ram. But I talking about when Lil Rick had it, wax quick
Yeah,
sand
yeah,
down
yeah,
Quick
in
yeah,
sand
your
yeah,
down
yeah,
in
back,
yeah,
your
yeah,
back.
yeah.
right? So that
But
was
no,
Lil Rick.
yeah,
So
but
Lil Rick
lyric
come
not
from
doing
a whole
lyric,
a
but
Bajan
lyric,
dance hall background and Peter Ram. So them
yeah,
men
but
keep it
lyric, but
real.
lyric. Pyramid is good too, but lyric song was lyric had a don't be hunted trap was lyric first calypso song. When you have
Mhm.
raving revelers walking up, this don't walk up trap, don't be hunted trap,
Yeah.
don't be hunted trap. When you hear that,
Yes.
bad man, that was song, but like I said,
Do bad.
and then when
Do
you hear
bad,
people,
Ricky, do bad.
and then, yeah, when you hear people come after, like you had the little boys come, they had some other songs that come and try to emulate him too, and I was like,
Timmy. I thought
mm,
Timmy was trying to be a little
yeah,
Rick.
and
Timmy.
Russell Rusty, and like, man,
Yeah.
I said, it was wanting to reference somebody, is wanting to pay homage to somebody, right? But to be a carbon copy of them is like, no, that's
Hmm.
you only got one lyric. Because I had a
Exactly.
I like to see the girls modeling.
You hear the song? Call
Huh?
911.
Yeah. Eric Lewis is good too. Eric Lewis is good as well. Eric Lewis is very good too. But like I said, them these
What do
people
we
come
gotta
with
do
this.
then? We gotta do a breakdown show, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that because people don't understand the Barbadian dialect, we
Mm-mm.
gotta do one of them shows a night, right? Right? Just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I
Or we
basically
can invite them on the show, you know. Let them do it.
I
Yeah.
no the sing the lyrics, and we do the translation in
Right.
English.
Yeah. You agree, translator. Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, it's crazy. I'd be cracking up laughing, and my husband be looking at me and think, but he's from St. Kitts, mind you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
he understands Bajan very well because he's got bills enough, right?
Right.
And he catching on to the Bajan, he catching on to the Bajan. But my thing is, at the end of the day, he still don't catch on. So I just gotta break it down for him, little pieces, and be like, this is what he mean by that,
Right.
right? Because I guess every country has their own dialect. So it's
Right.
like when I break it down for him, he's like, "That's what it's saying." He was like, the first time he heard the word "goblin," he said he snatched his chest. He was like, "Oh my God, you're asking God to blind you? Oh my God!"
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
Oh
man.
my.
like, no,
But
it's
it's just,
like,
I just, like I said, my whole thing is that if you can do that, commit to it because
correct.
it,
It's true.
we
Yeah.
look at, I know that
We,
I know I would never take that from her. That girl can sing, her
it's
voice,
true.
and I heard her sing some other clips or songs. Like I said, I went back in order for me to form an opinion. I had to go back to
Mm-hmm.
her
Mm-hmm.
how she sang before, and then I would hear like I would listen to one song from her Instagram, then we'll go back quick and listen to the new song. Then go back, and then when you go back, but you can't. It's only two completely different um
We definitely gotta get back
convictions.
to the mentoring part. We gotta find time to get back to the mentoring part
Yeah, well, I
because
go. Yeah, no,
Ricky,
next year, like I said, next year gonna be very hands on because, like I said, next year going back to Barbados in February because I want to
yeah.
produce a show there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can run every year because we only got time to for 1 month a year, is which is February to March, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
want to do a show like I do. I want part of my team, and I want to
Mm-hmm.
do some boot camps. And I want to get back into even with. Like, I see some. Like I said, I was be watching people and watching certain entertainers and stuff, and I looked to like them. I said to myself, "You still doing that hand gesture? You still doing that hand move? You still singing that? You still singing that riff? And you still that right?" And I thought to myself, this stagnant. It is. I can't do stagnant. It's stagnant for me, right? And then you want
Uh-huh.
what you had that you feel that you the uh uh
I see that goes back to the same business aspect too, you know, because there are a lot of business people that they're trying to do things like how they did it 30 years ago, and it's
because
not
yeah.
working.
Because you know why? You know we got
Concepts
a
are
lot.
better.
You know why a lot of interns in barbers, right? Got this thing. Got a lot of interns. From what I see, we got this thing said that if it ain't broken, don't
Don't
if it ain't
fix it.
break, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So because we got because part of aesthetic is you synonymous with some of your aesthetic, some of you that on stage that people will recognize, right?
Hmm.
They don't change
Mm-hmm.
it. They don't even switch it up or enhance or finesse it. It's
But then people get comfortable
Mm-hmm.
also.
too comfortable,
Get
Mm-hmm.
right?
comfortable
When,
with $10
Correct.
and forget it like they got 100 over
As
here.
I
yeah,
said, yeah,
right.
because I mean, the fact of the matter is that we could be a pretty cliquey industry here in Barbados, and they tend
Mm-hmm.
to like is like the same people being recycled over and over and over
Yeah,
again for every show, for everything. So the opportunities are limited in terms of the newer ones that coming up that trying to squeeze the self in the door, right?
yeah,
And it's like they're coming in already with the preconception,
right.
right, of what these people are doing. And
Yeah.
like as I say, is like you need to understand you should be lucky, feel blessed to know that your fans still love you, they still follow you.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time, and I used to always tell anybody that came into our bands, um, they don't owe you nothing. You come to work sick, you better feel better. Because if you
You know?
actually come on the stage, it means that you
Yep.
can perform,
The bun,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Because
The bun, the bun can go home. Yep,
unless you're in a hospital bed, you better do 200%.
yep.
You know why?
That,
Because
that
at
was,
the end of the day, nobody cares about how you
yeah,
feel. They
yeah,
paid their
because,
hard-earned money to come and
yeah,
see you perform. So you better turn up and
yeah.
turn out.
Find a
That was
way.
always my attitude.
Girl, me
If
too.
I
I said,
sick, I stay home.
if I stay home,
I
but yeah, me too. Me too, because what some people,
I'm not
and
giving nobody no half. half dead show because they say, "Oh,
No,
poor me."
no,
You
and that's it.
understand?
We need to teach these kids too, right? Because if you, for example, if you're singing, suppose you're singing a song in, say you're singing a song in C sharp, right? And for some fucked up situation, what happened that you get a cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know, you can't train your ear to say, I can't sing that note in C, can't sing C sharp, and you can't sing C sharp or C or D. I got drop to a semitone or drop it to a whole tone. I can sing this on B tonight, right? Because it
Correct.
can happen. Sometimes you sing
Correct.
on stage singing, or you walk into a venue and the the acoustic was changed because of the ear, because of
Correct.
because the humidity. Sometimes it's too cold. Sometimes even in our theater too. Sometimes the acoustic changes, right? So we have to
Mm-hmm.
something like I have to sometimes adjust my placement because if I'm warm enough, or if it's a lot of people in the theater, or as opposed to if it's a little bit of people, right? You go and get the
Mm-hmm.
reverberation, right? So you have to train your ear. And I hear a lot of people, right? See a lot of people that do that. They'll go on stage, right? And for some reason they get cold, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the research the song I see, they don't have the ear to
Mm-hmm.
go, oh, can we drop the key to semitone down and be flat,
Oh no, no, no!
right?
Because that takes discipline and learning the craft
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
behind the
and they
scenes.
need to
A lot
learn
of them
that.
don't put in that work. They don't put
They
in
need,
that work, and they don't
and
know
that's the
how to
thing.
sing the song variate. Because sometimes you could sing variations too in
Yes,
the song to
but
avoid having to sing them notes when your voice
but
can't
there's
handle it.
but Kim, this, we don't. Where are the people? Where are the people like the people that the exponents of that are the people that have the experience in barbers to do that to teach these children, right? That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
You don't have nobody. You don't have nobody in barbers really in barbers like all of them. I mean, we can get together and form a government body, right? And say that these kids that entering T down, for example, right? And
Mm-hmm.
say, and we could go and vet them and say, look, you got a lot of potential. I want to work with you for a week, give me
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, give me 3 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and prepare them for that, so that you can say, so you say if they sing the song in the original key, right? Say,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
no, I want you now to sing it like you. I want you to sing a variation of that note. Listen, here,
Mm-hmm.
in the ear, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
know what they do. They don't know how to do that, so they go on stage because of the nerve. Another thing, to another great example. If you're nervous, right, that is the best time for you to learn how to sing a variation. Because if you're
Yep.
nervous, you can't go because you tight. You be able to, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't go up. So you know to sing around the note, sing down,
Correct.
sing the octave
Correct.
down, right? So that
The
and
other
that what
point too.
yeah.
Correct. The other point too is that your dad said something that stuck with me for all these years,
Mm,
and that is you could got an audience of 1 million, or you could have an audience of one.
mm,
Give it 200% every single time because you never know who in that audience,
yep.
and this what you do. You understand? It doesn't matter if you got a big crowd
Mm,
or if you got a small crowd. Two hundred
yep.
percent is what is required. And a
Yep.
lot of people don't know how to adjust to that. They think that
Mm,
automatically you're supposed to perform for a big crowd. And
mm-hmm.
they don't even know how to perform for a small one first, a big one.
But the small
You
one gives you
understand?
practice.
Yeah, but I tell
The
someone that
practice.
I tell someone that look, people don't understand. There's a lot of listen, performing and singing. There's a lot of layers to it. I can tell someone that my father told me years ago, right? That I thought the Tom Bear stupidness until it's only after I sit down and I really, because I'm very reflective, I understood what he said. My father told me one time I was singing at a show, a Queen show in Miss Town, right? My father was there. My father was there. And I was singing Wildflower, right?
Hmm.
That he was that backstage. I think he was presented to sing it and everything. So my shoes wasn't, I had on patentless shoes, right? And my father
Hmm.
said, Ricky, come here. See, we're all built there, right? He said, he said, look down. I looked down, my shoes are dusty, right? He said, you can persist. You really can persist. Your shoes look like that, right? So I went and get a tissue and it was off. And he said, boy, go and get some water and shine them shoes, right? For everybody, right?
Uh-huh.
My father tell me for everybody, he said, if my father tell me, if you do not clean them shoes, boy, you go there, you can sing flat, you sound like shit, right?
Correct.
My father tell me, right? My father tell me one time, if you go on stage, make sure that you go on clean socks and you're going and your shoes and you're going good shoes. If you got clean socks and you go on good shoes, you can sing like a lark. I don't understand that. I think the moral of the story is right. You got to go on, they're looking so sharp that everything on you must
Correct.
be correct, immaculate. That it is
Correct.
you relax
It,
because you look
Package
it
good.
must be wrapped.
it gives you
Yeah,
confidence. It gives
yeah.
you
Yeah.
confidence. It
You
gives you
never see me.
life, not confidence, a whole life.
You never see me, and I never do a show. I never was on stage in a pair of jeans yet in my life. Never.
You know, Ricky, I was just going to ask you a question, right? But I think you answer, but I can still ask anyways.
Mm.
If you could relive one defining moment in your career, not to change it, but to feel it again, what would it be?
This song contest.
Why? Explain.
His
The
performance
reason
was
why,
fire.
yeah, the reason why it was song contest, right? Because, like I said, I once I can say on my podcast too because this is the
Talk it
reason
up.
for this is the reason for this is the reason for what is it song contest, right? Okay, the song contest before I went when I entered the barber song contest, I didn't enter barber song. I didn't want to, right? This whole thing unfolded. I was frustrated with the industry in Barbados. I felt that I didn't get in the respect I deserve. I felt like I had to work too hard I had to prove myself, right? So I had planned, and I made a conscious decision that I was going to do a concert, right? And I was going to leave and go to Canada and live, right? Make some money and leave. But I never tell the boy this. So I spoke to Karen Leacock about it, rest in peace. Karen Leacock was going to help me with Anna Mara produce the show, right? My concert, farewell concert, right? I called a meeting. Kim, I tell you, you were supposed on show, but you can come to the meeting that time. It was at the I called a meeting for these in the steel shed. Nobody turned up, right? Nobody. Edwin, nobody turned up, right? So at that moment, I thought, okay, nobody respect. This is when I really believed that nobody don't respect me and don't respect my talent and nobody believe in me. So I decided, done. I got bought my plane ticket and it's gone, right? I went purchased a ticket for Canada, right? Open ticket. And then I got a call from Emil Stricker telling me he want to meet me. He got a song for me for the song contest. So I said, okay, let me, out of respect, me meet Emil Stricker, make this song, let him play the song for me, right? And I tell him, let me think about it because I don't really, I was done, right? You keep calling me. So Ricky, nobody else can sing this song. I wrote this song with you in mind, right? Nobody else can sing this song. And I thought to myself, when he said that, I said to myself, you know what? Let me use the Barber Song Contest as my last performance. Because I know that if I go in the Barber Song Contest, I ain't going to win, period, right? Call the body and really check it for me.
Or so you thought.
Right. That's what I thought. Right. That's what I thought. Right. So I said, well, what I can do now, I can take the song, right, and I can listen to it, and I can tweak it to suit me, right? And I can get that. If I don't win, they can remember me. That's what the thing, the impact they can leave in that stage. Right. So that was right. So I didn't go in the competition thinking to win, as opposed to Mark Bavell and Cassandra and them. I was even the favorite, right? I went there to perform my ass off. I was going to dress like a motherfucker and dance my ass off. And so there's the thing. When Barber Song Contest now, one thing led to another. They called my name. I remember when they called my name for the Barber Song Contest in the Barber Song Contest. And the winner is representing Barber, who's going on to represent Barber. And with 100 something, and they said, call me name Ricky Stoute, right? The first thing they said, I said, Jesus Christ, what's going on? I win? Jesus Christ. That was the first thing. That was the first. Because in my mind, right, I think to myself, I got to come back here. I'm going to do all this again, right? So, okay. Because like I said, I didn't go there to win. I went to the last performance of stuff.
And it was phenomenal.
Right. So I went to Canada now.
And nobody thought you could have topped that, but.
Right. Went to Canada and the buddy called me to come back home, and the buddy, like, 2 weeks before he was supposed to, 2 weeks before the song contest, I got a call from a certain person. We're going to call this person Roger for now, right? And the Roger called me. He said, hey, Rick Stoute, this is Roger here. I'm going to get straight to the point. We heard that you are in Canada in hospital with AIDS. And if you're sick and you can't come home, we have Margaret Bavell on standby because Margaret Bavell had one. They come second, right? So I called back Roger. I said, listen to me. send me my plane ticket. I can home and represent my country here, right? And it's then I
They,
think
they
that was
did
a
the
ship.
same thing to you. They did the
That was
same
a
thing to
ship.
you that they did to me
Right.
because they
So that was
exposed
that
me
was
in my year.
right.
My
That was
pregnancy was
yes,
I was young pregnant with a man. I was
yeah,
nobody knew I was pregnant. And
right.
a certain journalist in Barbados came and basically was like, and I will call her name with no shame because I think that she deserved her name to be called.
Who done?
Andrea King. Andrea King.
Oh Lord, she.
Basically, basically,
I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
I remember nobody knew I was pregnant. I was like, must be find out, no, find out, no,
Yep.
no, 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 because I was getting a little morning sickness during the
Right.
Barbados
I
Song
remember that.
Festival,
I remember that. I remember
and
that.
it was brand new,
I remember that.
and I was like, I know, trying to figure out what the heck I gonna do with this baby.
Mm.
I'm, you know, your head going all over the place. Next thing you know, I say, I open the paper, and this woman like verbatim.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm 8 weeks pregnant probably, and
I remember that.
she is telling Barbados that Kim there is pregnant, and I will
I
not be able to compete
yes, I
in the
remember you.
Caribbean
I know
Song
you. I remember
Festival
you. The real pissed too. I
because
remember you. Real
be,
vexed. Yeah.
because my baby is due around that time. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of baby could go out that gonna be due around that time? Because this is the what it was. I think it was the Barbados Song Festival was have been in February,
Mm-hmm.
April,
March.
and the Caribbean Song Festival was around crop over time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wait, what kind of letter that is that I bearing, boy? So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember calling the then franchise owner of the song festival, concerned that is going to be a part of the rule that I will not be able to represent Barbados because I'm pregnant. And he
Right.
said, Kim, you think that pregnancy can stop you from performing at the best of your ability? I said, no,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a sickness. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of life. I can go
But
there and I can get
I
200.
think that's the best thing I ever sing that song too. That like that fun that was like, dude,
Right,
I do not know.
and Ricky was on that stage with me that night too.
Yes, I do not know how
Ricky
the hell
was
you
on
made
that
that show.
stage.
I do not
Huh?
know I do not know how you made that show.
Politics, boy, politics. That was pure
Yeah,
politics.
yeah.
That was
And the thing is
pure
that
politics.
the Kim comes second and she had me by half a point, half a point. Not a whole, not
Correct,
no 2 points, 3 points, half a point.
correct. But it
That
was
like it.
politics
That
though.
song
'Cause
so far. I like it.
don't forget the year before Alison Hines and John King had won it in
Right,
Trinidad, and
right,
Trinidad came to Barbados the following year and won it.
right.
Right,
And
and
thing is,
everybody in the gymnasium, including the same Trinidadians that came to support the Trinidadian, was vexed. It was like, how she win
right.
that? How she
And
beat
here's the thing,
that
no,
song?
then Kerry came and win in '96, right?
Uh huh.
Right. So let me tell you, let me tell you the whole thing about this whole thing in song contest, no, right? So when they came home to me, brought me home to bar, they come and pick me up. 6 hours later, I had a hungry shite. I called the office. I said, wait, Ricky, told me where you is? I said, at the airport. 6 hours waiting. I didn't know where to go, right? Got a car for me. Took me
Wow.
to Rockley, right? I didn't meet the contestants yet, right? So they put me in a villa. I got really bad direction. So they put me in a villa. So we had to go and take a shower real quick, come back and meet the contestant. We was going to dinner the night, right?
Hmm.
I make a some wrong turn. I pass underneath a window by one of the villas, right? And I hear the contestants in this room, right? The Jamaicans saying, they want to know this, if anybody knows who the Barbados representative is, because
Uh
mind
huh.
you, the contestants from the other countries, respective countries, they were well known, they were established, they had recordings, and they had songs on the radio already and everything, right? So I hear that, right?
Hmm.
So the Jamaica girl now, she said, whatever happened, Barbados can't win this year. Whatever happened, right?
Wow.
I said, we got the planning for me. They never meet me yet, right? So now, get to tell me everybody now. The first rehearsal, I remember Derek Atkins, rest in peace. So, and I picked number 8 again, right? So I was in my mind, how you gonna do this thing? Everybody, because they asked who want dance, who want this, blah blah blah, right? So, no, these never hear me sing, right? We get to the rehearsal. I called Derek, and I called Derek. I said, Derek, this is what I want. I want just the intro, and then we get the end four bars. She's mine. Da, ba, ba, da, 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 da. That's what we want right there. So you sure? So yeah.
Mhm.
We had to go and we had to pull the numbers, and they had to rehearse it. You had to rehearse it and already pull the number, right? I was contestant number
Mhm.
8. I went rehearsal, and I sing a lick. People started talking, but people like coffee. I'm like, and they're like this, look. I just look. No, I said nobody hear me lean up to the thing. So I lean up to the night before we had a technical rehearsal. We were supposed to bring the costumes, right? If you remember costumes,
Uh-huh.
right? So we was running the show from top to bottom, the costume, full costume, everything. I up there so in a freaking trap pants, man, and leg warmers. So then they asked me, Ricky, you have your costume? I left my costume for purpose at Adrian. You know. I said,
So you want to
Uh-huh.
see?
I know nothing. I said, oh, I'm sorry. This is Ricky, but we told you, and you know they had. I said, I'm so sorry, so sorry. We gonna know the Randy Horse, you know. Everybody do the full screen, the run technical rehearsal, everybody performing their ass off, and I seen everybody, what everybody doing. Come to me now,
Mhm.
put me on the screen. This is my island. I said, ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 blah. Song start. I said, I do my microphone, so I tested my phone to see for feedback.
Uh-huh.
Geraldine, I remember Geraldine Sophie and them, right? Come back to the
Uh-huh.
dancers. The dancers came back. They taught, right, that I was forfeiting the show, that I was going to sabotage and Barbara's going to win. So the whole thing now is that I threw in the towel the show, right?
Uh-huh.
So he comes in, what are you doing, man? Because they asked me if I want dancers. I said, I don't want any dancers, right? I said, for what? They said, but you can't see that big dancer. The giant said, Ricky Stoute, the stage real big, man. We can flip the script, we can give a performance. I said, I do not want no dancers, none.
But you ready to dance yourself?
What, man,
Correct.
listen to me. That night, and the first time they ever hear me sing, became the first time that anybody ever hear me. The band, the concert, was the night of the show, right? So the night, of the how many night the competition now? I don't say was warming up. I was running, I was jogging around the gymnasium, right?
Uh-huh.
When I was coming around the gymnasium, I was jogging and singing. I was jogging and singing, and I hear my people say, "Contestant number 8, put your hands together," and I run onto the snatching microphone from my. If you watch it again, and I was putting middle. Some people like coffee, some people like tea. And from there it was done.
Right.
Correct.
And then I
I said,
remember.
Ricky, tear it up, Ricky, tear it
Listen,
up.
I remember when I finished look, they had the people was screaming for 20 minutes.
You know you can't make up this stuff, you know. You can't make this. I'll be saying all the time. You can't make it up. For real.
I think the people were screaming for about 20 minutes, and my I said, listen, calm. They got other contestants, you know. He's the only one. They had almost 15 minutes. Had to calm the whole people like crazy. And I remember after one, and they had the after party at the Barbers Museum, and the lead judge from, I think it was from Montserrat. Yes, he came to me, come. He said, I've been judging competition for 20 years. I've never seen somebody beat a competition so bad. He said, I won by 187 points. I had full marks for diction, rendition, performance. They said that the judges didn't know what to do. Like when they saw that, they was like, what just happened? And that's what I said, that if I had to relive, and it might be funny about my career. People think it's Lion King and people think it's all this, but there's nothing more pleasing to me to represent my country. You know what I mean? 15 other countries to represent my country, and that was, for me, that was the funny moment. I get to represent my country in a competition, right?
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, I didn't care what nobody tell me. I going on that stage.
Yeah.
Me and my little bump, Mike. I remember what I went through. A lot of people didn't know that the week before the Caribbean Song Festival, I was on stage with Ricky.
Yeah.
We were performing at Club Rockley.
Yeah.
And I started going into early labor.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had to be rushed to the hospital. I had to leave the stage.
You remember
and I had to stay on bed rest for a week. I said, keep that down. Don't tell nobody, because I don't want this to jeopardize the competition. Literally the week before the Caribbean Song Festival, and I was on bed rest in Bayview. Nobody knew that.
Remember we had when I had my concert too, and you was 4 months and you didn't know. It was again.
Correct.
What? You're about 2 or 3 months pregnant. That was about 3 months pregnant with
my
man.
son.
With
But
your son,
Iman,
right? And
no, but Iman I found her early because she
yeah,
had me
but
sick from the
with your
jump.
son, right? It was my concert. Remember I had my concert in
Yeah,
the
when your
gymnasium.
concert, it was my son,
And
and
Kim come and
I
tell me,
remember saying, I
right?
sick.
You sing
I sick. I
Unforgettable,
don't
and you
feel
sing
good.
I'll Always Love You. And Kim come and said,
Correct.
You just told I get real fat, yeah.
I
That thing
was
done
like,
next week. Tell Kim going to bed. Kim went to the doctor. Kim come and said, I'm pregnant. Remember she didn't know. You talk again. Cause we talk they get a little belly, right?
putting on weight.
Cause you didn't have no bonus sickness no nothing like that, right?
Correct.
I remember the song contest when Kim was in song contest. When Kim won that night, the night that Kim I would say about like maybe a good 20-30 minutes before Kim had to go on. I see people come running looking for me. Ricky, Kim, what you, Kim? So what she want? I thought she been living on. She did look all she voice. Remember that night? I had to do the they come looking for me. So
Yeah.
Kim, when they gone on, Cindy there so because you know Cindy love always supposed to do that part.
Correct.
And she did, and she sing about she sing that. I said,
Listen, when we went through some
yes.
things. We've been
And
through
that
some
listen,
things.
20 minutes before Kim went on stage, right? I learned that part. And that's one part, you know.
Correct.
And if you back and listen to that, if you back and see the recording, and you hear Kim and Kim on stage, and you can't see me, but you can hear my voice. Because then somebody had the mic, the passing mic to me because they couldn't see me, right? I was in
Correct. But then when we did the Caribbean Song Festival,
yeah,
Tony Norval,
yeah, to Narvo,
I think James Leacock.
James Lee somebody
It
else.
was you, James, Tony, and Cindy.
Cindy, yeah.
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 Wow.
That was the background vocals of the Caribbean Song Festival. Listen,
Yeah.
we used to back up one another. We didn't care.
Yeah.
You understand? We always like supported each other. We
Yeah.
always did that. And I mean like really,
good.
really, you know?
But also, I think the reason they come to me too because they knew that me and Kim, our voices match really well together. We
Match
work together for so long.
harmonies.
So they know I
Harmonies
do
and
some voice
understanding
and
each other. Yeah,
nobody
tone.
the harmonies, boy. We harmony
Tone.
tight.
The body though that used to got me so look. Carol George.
Walter, look. Let me
Oh
tell you
my
something,
God.
Carol. Let me get you what Kim wanted, right? We just singing out. We singing that's what it's a bit, right? Keep it pregnant. We get the part though. I saw the sign. Oh, come in. I saw the sign. And Kerwin gives your son gives you a kick, man. Come in. I saw the sign. And they, oh shit. You remember that night?
Oh
You
God.
remember that night? You remember that night at Rugby? Come in.
I get such a kick. I get such a kick in the butt.
Let's see
I
that how
get
you
such
do
a
it.
kick in the butt. The
What?
butt, my belly. I said,
Let
listen to
me
me,
do
don't
that
go.
See, man, look, he kicked him so hard, man.
That was me. Oh God. Oh my God. We
Listen.
went through some things here.
Listen, that's one. Every time I remember our time, that's the forefront. Like, that was so funny. Cause Kim did something. I saw the sign, and then Kim
I
said,
get
"Oh, my
kicked.
son just give me a kick." Kim kick his squad. Man, that was it running. Kim night. He kicked. She saw her.
Iman, listen, and the rumor mills was Kerwin because a lot of people they used to put me and Pedro together.
Right. Because
Right?
Ricky was always together, right? So
Me and Ricky was always together. So the rumor mills in Barbados is that Ricky was my child father.
yeah.
So
And we never denied it.
We never denied.
We never denied. I was like that. Yeah.
Look,
That's
Kerwin,
what you
listen,
want. So that's my child father. That's my child father.
It got so bad, right? It got them so people in Barbados whole people just want to be is denied and believe the rumor. The people that want to believe it so bad, right? That even when Iman born, yeah, Iman looked just like him. Everybody said they look like Iman looked like me. God, we're looking how you look at that little girl. Look at Kim. Look, just look yourself. They
That was so
refuse. They
funny.
refuse to not.
But people like the
want so bad.
propaganda, you know.
Listen,
Love
I'm
it.
What?
bad.
I love
They
it,
would
man.
rather run with the rumors, and you have
Mhm.
to create a real thick exterior shell in this business.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you really sit down and listen to the things that people will say about you, the horrible things, they don't know you, they don't know what kind of mental capacity you are at. Because with Ricky, we would be going through things, and people would be saying all sorts of things. You don't know how close to a breaking point you might be. So you
And they
have
don't
to
care.
really, yeah, they don't.
They don't
And
care.
you really have to build. I mean, thank God that I had a tough exterior. I used to be like, at first, I remember telling my mother knock out a girl in front of the house. My mother knocked out a girl in front of my house because the girl said that she knows certain things about me, which she did not know. And my
Wow.
mother was right next door, and my mother was right next door listening through the window. I was getting ready to get her right to work. And my mother came outside and I was like, "What do you know about my child?" Because that's the kind of mom I had. I had a gangster mother that would protect her young by any means necessary. So let me tell you, it was something else. Ricky's gone now?
I guess his
Or
internet
he's
dropped
still
out or
there?
something.
Yeah, he
It's
probably dropped out. But
yeah.
listen, I am looking forward to this show. We gone overtime tonight. Is an hour and 32
That's why
minutes.
I had some questions to ask him and you together actually. See,
I hope he
I'll ask
comes
you
back
first though.
in. But
What is
mind
your
you,
uh,
huh?
what is your preference? Calypso or reggae?
Ricky or me?
You. Well,
I would
Ricky,
say, huh?
Ricky is off now until he come back in. I will ask him again.
Okay. You coming back in?
I hope so. I don't see him.
Okay. But my thing is, I love music, but I would rather reggae.
Reggae. Okay.
I
All
love
right.
I love calypso to dance to enjoy myself, to free up yourself and thing and culturally. But I love reggae. I really
Oh,
do because you can sing soul. Because like I love Barris, I love Bob Marley. The tonality in reggae music when it comes to people singing and like singing a soul, and
mm.
it's just the beat is reggae, but you
Yeah.
get to really display your vocal ability in reggae, whereas
All right.
soca music, yeah,
Or the next one, studio or stage?
stage,
You want to flaunt it.
stage, huh?
You want to flaunt
Stage
it
all
out
the
there in
way,
the
and that's why I said it. My
crowd.
album is a live album because the connection with your audience there's an energy that is there that you can never reproduce in a studio. You just got really get in a zone when
Mm.
you're in the studio to really recreate the story. Is like the
All right. So
story that you're
your
trying to
energy is
portray.
fueled by the crowd.
Correct, and vice versa.
Cool.
hmm
Gotcha.
hmm
So name one artist you'd bring back for one last performance.
one last performance.
Yeah.
It would go be oh God, that's a hard one. That is a hard one, and I would say locally or internationally.
Internationally.
Uh,
Internationally. Internationally.
I performed with Patti LaBelle, which was like for me, that was everything for me at the Barbados
Mm.
Jazz Festival. I get to sing Lady Marmalade with Patti, and I was like, if I died that night, I would have been like, that's it for me.
That's it. Heaven.
That was a heaven point for me, and it was like, oh my God, and she
My
looked me
body
up and
can
down like,
go.
huh?
My body can go.
Okay. Okay.
you
No
you had to
worries.
plug it back in. He was asking me some questions, so I asked
Yeah.
Ricky the same questions now,
Right. So
cause
Ricky.
we got
hmm
log off now.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your preference? Calypso or reggae?
Mm. I like reggae. I prefer reggae.
All right.
I
Or
like
the
reggae.
next question is: you prefer studio or stage?
That's a hard one. I prefer stage. I like live experience.
Aha. Okay. You see, I'm here checking out the comparisons between you and her, and I'm happy that you got logged off because you did not hear her answers, right?
Exactly.
And your answers are aligning with what she says.
Mm. Yeah.
So tell me this now. Name one artist you'd bring back for one last performance.
For the dead?
Yeah, from the
No.
dead. Even that.
One artist that would bring for one last performance, you mean in terms of singing in Barbados?
No, singing with you or anywhere on stage or whatever.
Internationally.
Internationally or locally? Internationally.
Yeah.
I would say Luther Vandross.
Oh wow. Yes.
But I would tell you a story. I would tell you my story about Luther another time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got to do a part 2 of this show. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure
You have
tonight.
2 more questions, quick time before we go.
Oh Lord, let me hear.
Name one song that still gives you chills every single time. So this goes for both of you. Who going first?
A song to give me chills. That's a hard one, yo. That's a hard one. It's got so much, man.
There must be one that the first one that comes to your mind usually is the right one.
I got so much fun. My Rolodex going crazy in my head now.
Let me tell you, my head. He got my head going. So look, listen to me. I would say for me it would be Earth, Wind and Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It would be Fantasy by Earth, Wind
Mm-hmm.
and Fire because of the
Mm-hmm.
lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
the technical skills of Philip Bailey,
Mm-hmm.
and to see the band perform that live in Barbados.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy. But outside of that, it will be Stevie Wonder. These 3 words.
Right.
Yes.
I got two. My two.
Stevie Wonder with these 3 words.
My two will be how do you keep the music playing by James Ingram and Patty Austin?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes, and the other one will be Overjoyed by Stevie Wonder.
Yes,
Stevie, you
I love
see,
that song.
Stevie.
I love that.
We here with Stevie. We
Yeah,
here
we
with Stevie. We here with Stevie.
Overjoyed. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. As a kid, I used to sing that almost every night, man.
That's my warm-up song every morning. I was warm up that song every morning.
Correct.
That used to get me sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or the last one.
But these 3 words used to make me cry whenever I heard the song.
That's something else.
Huh?
Yeah.
You ready? Ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 I thought was easy questions. Y'all tell me they're hard. All right. One thing you know now that you wish you knew at 25.
Oh, the Lord. One thing I know that I wish I knew at 25. Oh, God. One thing I know that I wish I knew at 25. Hold on.
I can tell straight.
Tell
I going first.
Mm-hmm.
Don't change for freaking soul.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Don't change for nobody. Love yourself to a point that you're so unapologetic about loving yourself that you literally, because the reason why when you say 25-year-old me, I know exactly what you're talking about. 25-year-old me was thinking that I needed to compromise myself in order to fit in. You understand? Or to be loved the way I deserved to be loved. And I still wasn't being loved the way I was deserving to be loved. So I would say, don't compromise on yourself. Love yourself unapologetically. That is what I would say.
All right.
And don't let anybody tell you no foolishness.
Right.
Clear your back. So you clear your pooch.
I got some. I think mine is something similar though, but a little bit more deeper than that. I think I knew. What I know not what I know now that I wish I knew at 25 is that some people, you can choose your friends, right? And you choose your friends, but you shouldn't expect them to be reciprocated. I've said this, but there's a reason why I say this, because, for example, if I choose my friends, right? If I say, for example, you are my friend and you're my best friend, and then, I consider as a friend, and they're doing all the friend things and it's not being reciprocated, and I said to person, right? But I call you, you're really a good friend. You don't even comment to see if I was alive. You come, I should expect that because at the end of the day, I wasn't reciprocated. I choose you as a friend doesn't necessarily mean that you choose me as a friend,
See,
right?
that brings me to a great point because I was on a radio show a few weeks back, and the question was raised: if you can have a best friend that has a different best friend that's
Mm-hmm.
not you, right? So you are a best friend to this person, but their
Mm-hmm.
best friend is not you. They have
Right,
another best
exactly.
friend. So
Right.
how can you trust that person with your information? Because your information get fed to somebody else.
Exactly. The
Correct.
bad question. This is the answer I'm trying to give now, right? I choose you. I choose you. I'm the one. I made a decision. I made
Right.
conscious.
You
I
made
call
that
you my
choice.
friend, right?
Correct.
Because if you pay attention, oftentimes like, somebody will introduce you like, oh, this is my friend Ricky, or this is my friend, or say, and this, this is my friend. You know, and then the person will say, oh yeah, and this is Kim, right? They don't say,
My
and this is
friend
my
Kim.
friend, this is my friend Kim too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right? So that's how you get the answers because you just got to pay attention to how people
So you're
respond to things certain
acquaintance.
things you do, right?
Correct.
So I know no because I used to always think that because I give it of myself as a friend, I honor that code as a friend. You know, I 100% they're being trustworthy and being authentic and everything. But when it
Mm.
not being reciprocated, I was get upset, right? I would say things like, "You're not a real good friend because you don't call me to say, but if I sneeze," and all the expectations because my expectations that I would expect to get the same thing back that I was
And
getting, right?
and
But no,
in life,
back
we
in
always do that.
hindsight, you don't really, yeah,
But
because
they can only be a friend or love you because I keep saying this over and over again too. They can only love you and be a friend to you within the capacity
right,
that they understand on the level that they understand it at.
and right,
Because
and
most of the time people don't love you because it's like it's a mirror. It's a mirror,
mm,
Yeah.
and
right,
it's like you might love with all your heart. You're a genuine person. You love with all your
mm,
heart. You do things for people from their mirror, seeing them
mm,
in that joyful moment when you're giving, right?
Mhm.
mm,
But you receive the other side of it is that person, and you can't judge them based on that because at the
right,
end of the day they can only give within the capacity that they of their understanding and mindset.
right,
So you got sometimes it's got like when you get to that, as you said, when you get to that stage in life, you realize I don't take on them things no more. I don't longer
right.
bear that burden for nobody no more.
Right, but that's the thing that for me that's why I can because it's easy for me to be able to separate the sheep from the goat because I know who's my friends, right? I know
Mm-hmm,
who's crossed my mind ever so often. I know that how we come out, how we journey together, and we could talk about
mm-hmm,
these things. I know who's my friends, right? And when I look back at in general and I see people and maybe I hear people call me them friend, I'm like since when? I'd be quick to tell them. Girl, he was in my phone for 30 years. I didn't even see. I take the phone once.
Yeah.
But and
A friend is
so I.
listen. A friend is how Ricky Stoute used to treat me when I was pregnant with my daughter. Him and his mom and his sister, and I throwing up. I can't even keep water down in my stomach, even though they know I throwing up. A Pyrex dish with
Yeah.
cocoon gonna come to my
What?
house, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
That
but
that is that's family, that friend. And
yeah,
then
exactly.
Ricky would
But
come to my house and tell me, "You cook, you cook."
yeah, or
I
quite
let
agree.
I
Listen,
listen to me. You don't want you rather clothe this man than to
Now,
feed
Pete,
him. When
Jesus.
Ricky
listen.
come in your house,
Have a
right?
belly bad.
When Ricky come in the house, and that thing the man like a stick, the man don't put on a pound,
Yeah,
right?
because I was
And the
very funny
man
for
would
you.
be eating like he eating for 20 people,
Uh,
right? And then
my
Listen,
turn
God.
and came back and undo his belt and jump up and down twice, right, Karen? And
listen.
come back and eat just as much,
Let me
right?
tell you. I would. Okay, let me tell you something. I would tell. I would first tell you. I am guilty because I would pass by somebody else and smell the food and put. I'm playing the password. Hey, how you doing? And form a conversation. Yes, we get ready for dinner here.
Whoa.
Correct.
I did greedy. I just like to eat people food. I just like people food.
Ricky is a tiny pot, but listen, when Ricky cut the house boy, listen. I remember what it was. I had just me and Carol. It was me and Carol rooming
Mm,
together. Carol George, and we were in Wildy Gardens, right?
yeah,
And it was a Christmas. It was Christmas. I can't remember what it was, but I cook up a big spread.
yeah,
I tell
yeah.
Mr. Ricky boy, Ricky come in here say, "What?" Ricky just said, "Hold on, buckle."
Well,
Jump up and down twice.
I think
Again,
remember no,
Corinne.
yeah, remember you went to put my phone in the play. So we gonna you pass that purse this year.
The bar had a big bowl.
Everybody was eating on the plate and they eat on purse dish.
My
Put
God.
my phone in the plate. Put my phone in the plate.
So I
Listen.
want both of y'all to finish this sentence to me, right?
Mm.
Caribbean will never lose its soul as long as dot dot dot.
Caribbean.
The Caribbean will never
Never.
lose its soul as long
Mm-hmm.
as finish it.
As long as we got music.
Boom! I like that. There we go, Ricky. Let me hear it from you.
Caribbean will never lose. Caribbean will never lose its soul as long as we stay true to ourselves.
Love that one. Part two, perfect.
The rhythm of the
Listen,
West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
it's true. Togetherness.
Yes.
Correct.
Come on.
Well,
So we can do
say
part two.
less. We gonna do a
Mm.
part two very soon.
Yeah.
We got a line
Very
again
soon.
for the part two with the time. That way
Yeah.
we can do bad. Gap
For
and do
sure.
bad.
Sure. Yeah. No
But in
problem.
the meantime and
I was gonna.
between time, thank you, Ricky, so much
Yeah.
for
You
joining us
too.
tonight. I
Yes,
don't
of
really
course.
want to dig in your business though. So part two gonna be real
Yeah. Get
sensitive,
my
and I
business.
don't
Yeah.
give a
Get my business. Yeah. All right. No
I
problem.
don't
I
care.
was.
I don't care. We
I
well,
was
because
asking about
that's
the
what I
one
said.
like.
We come to bear our souls here, so we don't really
Right.
judge, and we will not be judged.
Correct.
So,
And that's what I'm saying. The whole premise, like when I started the idea of our squads is kept right. It's
mhm,
not to be malicious. It's my whole. It's I took my experience, my truth, right. And what you
Mhm.
take away from as squads is kept is that you should name one thing that you've never ever spoken about and nobody don't know about the that aspect in your career that changed the
mhm,
trajectory of your artistry that shaped your reality. That one thing as it's kept that something that only you could say with that without fear, with just disarmament and just be unashamed to say it because it's a part of your growth, right? Not to
correct.
you've experienced this thing with this person and this person, and this is it is what it is, and because of that is what brought me here today. As Squads is kept. Boy, I've never
Correct.
spoken about this before. The thing that I just told you about, the thing that about the song contest, I've never told anybody that before. There's so many things that happen behind these scenes that I've never told anyone. That if I told this situation with me and Lion King, you all would freak out. I've never spoken about before, right? And then when I was laying on my bed and I see Charlie Kirk get that thing happen, like I said, he had a trauma. I said, suppose I don't want my leg. I don't want to leave this earth and people just sweep my legacy on the carpet. I work too goddamn hard, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what I say comes from me, right? And it's not a third party. It comes from me. As Quest is kept, this is what happened, and that's what led me here today, right? So
Ricky, you ever thought about writing a book?
yes, of course, I started writing my book, but I had to stop because, like I said, I had a lot of trauma back in the day. I got a story boy. I started writing my book. I did write the preface and everything. But the problem with the book thing now that I grown, I get past a lot of my trauma and my fears. I can write my book, right? I still got the preface and everything. I finished. I got to write chapter 1, right? But I cannot go any further because I don't have the enough information from Plainlands Creative Workshop. I have to get information from Plainlands because that's where I started. When I was 6 years old, that's when I first got my feet wet. And now we started with dancing. How I transition from dance to singing, I got to start from the beginning, my origins. And
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have the information, because they got a lot of information there in the archives that I need to go back and look at when I was a kid, when I first started 6 years old, and how I went from 6 to 7 in Robert Dance Theater. I need to get that story because I just can't start at one place like in my certain part of my career. I got to go back to the beginning. And I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to get it from them for the longest time. And that's another thing that triggered me too, because when I started this whole thing, I went back to their page to do some research about Plainlands Workshop because I want to talk about my beginning. And I went to their web page, and they said, "What man we going to?" Because they were celebrating for 2 years of excellence or something like that. I read on Facebook page now, and they see they got this wall and the old time pictures and that. I said, "Don't remember that part. I don't remember that part." I said, "Look, start looking for me." I was like, Somebody else. I said, okay, let me pause for me a little. So I start looking for Sade, right? No
Mhm.
picture of Sade. No. I said, wait. Let me slow down, and because I started to get a little bit. I felt disregarded. And the reason why I felt disregarded because I was an OG playing. I started when I was 6 years old playing, right? I left playing. I my when I left playing, it wasn't on any very good terms. I'll get to that on my podcast, right? But when I left playing when I was 25 years old. I was with playing since I was 6 years old, and when playing first started out, playing started out with more boys than girls, and then because of the stigma that boys are supposed to dance and boys and brothers and blah blah blah, all the boys dropped out and left me, three boys, and then it went from like something like 35 boys to 15 girls, then it went from 35 boys to 3 boys and 30 girls. Then the other two boys drop out too, right? Because we three of us used to get bullied every day, right? To the point where pointless would have to walk me home. I was 6 years old, right? And I said, no, when God killed me, cause I got every day I get straight to thing. I go bring my tux and I got straight to dancing. I did first person there, and then it went from all boys, 3 boys to 1 boy and 25 girls. I was the only boy, and Shadi was the choreographer, right?
Mhm.
And and then Darcy Boyce wanted to kick me out because she told Shadow one time to kick me out of the group. And Shadow said, usually that Shadow, they were always, I was small, but they would put me in the back, right? And Shadow would come and say, where
Mhm.
he is? And Shadow would, I hear, I tell Shadow, I remember Shadow holding my hand, I said, listen, stand here, you in the front, right? And Shadow look at me, wanted in the front, all of them that wanted to reject me, and Shadow said, listen, you are going to be a star here. When they come to teach, I want you in the front. Yeah, I said it. I,
Wow.
I remember that Shadi was Shadi is the reason why too that I was so adamant with my craft. I said I wanted to be the best dancer. I was like I wanted to be the next freaking album. And I was really 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 getting good at my I became a choreographer. Then I was choreographer for Pinelands, for Dancing Africa, for Silver Hill dancers, and I started choreographing. I had an apprenticeship at Barbara Starship for 6 months, right? Then I went back to Pointers and I was teaching them, right? And then Monty led the next, and something happened in between that. I'm gonna tell you another time. And Pointers was given an ultimatum, and they let me go. They kicked me out of the
Wow.
group. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I remember when they left Pointlands. I remember the day that I got people to Pointlands, and I was crying. I told Shadi about it, and I went and joined a Rebel People. Then I went into Shadi's dance group, right? And then from Shadi, I was dancing with Danny Hines with Situ, and then with Dance Experience. So I was with 3 groups then, and I was still teaching dance in Africa. And I was still teaching, and then and the funny thing is, we went to the first time Pointlands went to Nifka, right? We won 2 awards, and they never told me. I won distinction and merit. And
Wow.
Don Lisa had my awards. They never collected them. I only found out years later, right? And that's what I'm saying. So you can imagine. I had it, and when I started this thing, and I went to Pointers workshop, and I was doing my research. I literally sat down here like I cried, Karen, I cried because I started to remember. Oh my God, this is a dance group that I come up in this dance group when I was 6 years old to 23 for over 20 years, and then thought to myself, how you can celebrate 42 or 43 years of excellence or of Pinelands, but you skip a whole 20 years that I had that
They
because of
try
me
to
that
erase
boy.
your history, but you will
Yes,
never
yes,
be
yes.
erased.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Wow.
saying. That's a Pinelands Workshop, right, is a huge part of my existence and my career because I started as a dancer. I was resilient, and because of me being a dancer, and the a lot of the dancers at Barbara's Dance at that time, like Jerry Levine and Carson, them, they saw the potential in me, right? And they gave me an apprenticeship as Barbara's Dance Theater, right? And I wanted to be the best. And everything I thought that they taught me at Barbara's Dance Theater, I went back to Punters and teach Punters because at that time, Punters was known for African dance and folk. They had no technique.
Folk, African, yeah.
Right. Didn't have no technique. And because of my apprenticeship, and I came everything that I learned in terms of lines, in terms of my lines, in terms of my posture and my center and everything, I would go back and teach them. Right. And
Wow.
yes, That's not even documented. Nothing. And it's like how you and everybody knew me from Pointlands, and then so the whole dancers formed called the Pointlands, and then a girl named Valerie King, she come and asked me if I would come and teach them. Then or that be a Pointlands, they want me to teach other dance groups. I said, no, I cannot. I said, listen, I'm not teaching Dance in Africa and Silver Hill dancers what Pointlands. This is our thing. I would never, ever, ever duplicate that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, of course, they kept too. All the dances that I do in Pointlands, all my choreographies it was all original moves. I never copied none that I see on TV from you don't see it for Silver Hill or Dance Africa or I would go to the class. I remember going to class and I would sit on the floor and they play the calypso music or the drums and they would start doing movements. I would start doing my shapes and then I would create my own moves, my own choreography. And
Wow.
we had that was and the girls in Pointlands used to love to come to my classes because we were doing something different, right? And they had it all documented on tape. And if I if I wanted to get this is how serious it is. If I wanted to get my choreography from Pointlands and I could cooperate, I could actually cooperate. I could actually get them registered as original dance move, the original dance shape, original dance formations, all was all mine, right? And when I sat there and I said, you didn't even mention Sade. Sade was one of the originals of Pointlands. Where the
Mm-hmm.
artist,
I
when
remember.
listen, when Pointlands first, oh my God, it's hurting my heart to talk about this. When Pointlands started, Pointlands workshop started because in the Pine everybody, the kids was fighting. Wildy boys didn't like you, but the Pine, Regent Hill was fighting with Wildy. Parkinson Field was fighting with Silver Hill. So Hamilton Lashley and Shannon and them come up with this idea to form a community group called Pointlands Creative Workshop. It was a community group so the kids could go and somewhere to go to express themselves artistically. It was drama,
Correct.
it was dance, it was arts and craft, it was poetry. But what happened? The dance the people were so interested in that it overwhelmed everything else, right? So we just had drama and dance. So
Mm-hmm.
we had people that coming from all over, from Barbie's Hill and Hackett Hall to Pointlands. It was we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to do with the kids. It was a lot of them, right? So the point we didn't. Listen, nothing that I don't understand. When we first started, we didn't know what we was doing. All we wanted to do is dance. We didn't know what we was doing. We would come to Parkinson School every Monday, Thursday, and every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Saturdays, right? We had to pay for the thing, and then we came up with the idea. We didn't know what we was doing. We would come up with ideas for car wash to make money. Then we was paying 50 cents a week. Then it went from 50 cents a week to $2 a week, and then we had to pay $10 because we had to get money for costumes, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
we started to get jobs. We started doing little shows here and there, and we started to get popular. And then we got offered to do um, San Lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
For this week, put Rock Pavilion. And then Barbara Stant Theater was leaving. That Barbara Stant Theater was used to do 1627 at museum. Barbara Stant
Mm-hmm.
Theater was going to for years, and Barbara Stant Theater wanted to resign from that, and then they Barbara Stant Theater hand over the mantle to Pointlands Woodstock, and that was a big honor for us because to carry on the torch from Barbara Stant Theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had to create a whole show that was depicting um, Barbados back in the day, our culture and our heritage back for slavery times. So it was called 1627 and all that. And we used to do it on Thursdays and Sundays, right? We did it for
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years, 2 or 3 years. Yeah, and I was the OGs. I was there from the beginning. Then Shadi left. If he took over, and then if he left for some reason, and then they come and ask me because we didn't have no choreographer, right? So I took over the mantle from there, and we was doing really well. And one thing led to another. This person that didn't like me got a job at National Culture Foundation, and came one night at San Lane and tell the owner, the head of Ronnie, and look at me. He said to Ronnie, we get fight literally 10 minutes before we go on stage. He said, "No, here's what's going to happen. You wanted that. You all want to have a job here at San Lane. I'm the entertainment manager for down here now, and I'm telling you now, get rid of him."
Wow.
Yep, and they fired me. Sitting at yep, giving an ultimatum because Pointless wanted he wanted the show, he wanted the job, they wanted the money, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On top of that, he fired me, and then another week. I remember correctly, not it was a Monday, well, not even a month or 2 months into after he let me go from dancing at San Lin. I came to it was a Monday. I come to do my class, and he came to me. I said just before I started to do the class for me, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna have to let you go." And I remember telling him to let me go. He
They
didn't
ain't
let me go.
no loyalty.
Nope. And the girls, I remember the girls, my fellow dancers and girls and stuff said, "You going?" I took my back. I said, "I have to leave. I got to go to." No, thank you for your cert. No letter, nothing. And I remember the girls in primary school. The girls was crying on that stage, literally, because just before I went to start the class, and that's
Oh,
how that was
some
the
sad
end.
timing
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
Yep.
And that was the end of me and Pointless. But I still, like I said, that was my group today. I'm not a member of that group. I was always, and everywhere I go, no matter where I go, and over the world, and people ask me how I started. I always start with Pointless. Always start with Pointless. So you can imagine sitting on here, right, going through their Facebook page, and they talk about all the accolades and all the things that they do, and all this thing and all the trajectory and all they went this place and down to this person that, and I look at them and I say, where the hell? Not even an eyeball. You can't even see me peeping up.
Jeez, oh, man.
I said, then I said, okay, let me just slow down because
So Tim,
I
we
start.
gonna have to get the person from there on this show also.
Correct. And I'm
Yeah,
based the
but
backside.
We gonna ask the
but
kind
I'm
of
saying,
questions, man. We gonna
that's
find
what
out
I'm
why
asking.
his legacy is not, a part of
But
there.
okay,
Correct.
but then,
Correct.
but Sade too didn't. There's no mention of Sade. They're not even a picture of Sade. They don't. I say, how you want to talk about legacy, but you don't talk about the origins. Listen, we had dance.
Mm-hmm.
The OG dancers came. Let me tell you something, my friends. We Pioneer Culture Shock, right? We didn't have like you had Richard Spring and everything, but we at SM Richard was doing modern. Richard was like into modern and stuff. Pioneer Culture Shock is a hardcore. There are passionate dancers, very
Correct.
resilient, and dance the ass off every girl. Every girl in my era, every girl in that group, right, had something about them. So we tried to be like the girls, that the big girls in the
Mm-hmm.
company, right? We wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
just as good as them. So you had like, this girl called Shelly. Shelly was like the premier dancer, right? Shelly looked like Sade. And Shelly could dance her ass off because Shelly was passionate. And then we would come and we wanted to dance like Shelly too. And then we had Felicia, then we had Wendy, then we had Deborah, then we had Misha. You had everybody had something. And I was the only boy, right? So imagine me trying to emulate these girls, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I can't be soft. Right? As a boy, I got to dance stronger, right? And I didn't have that understanding because I was a boy, but I was dancing feminine because I was emulating them. It's only when I
Mm-hmm.
got like around 16, 17 years old and I went to Barbara Dance Theater and then was doing classes with Jerry and Carson and them. Then I understand how to implement masculinity into my movements, into how to be
Mm-hmm.
stronger, how to jump stronger,
Mm-hmm.
how to jump higher, and how to prepare, right?
Yes.
There's now I understand. I got to not to be so feminine in my in my hands, and not to be so feminine in my. So then I start to transition from, if I do something like this, I would be more expressive, more masculine, right? So
Yeah.
then well, because I didn't care about the singing. I didn't want to sing shit. I dance. I do. That's why every class, if anybody know back in the day, you see me in one thing. I just have a pair of tights on and a bag and a headband. Everyone, okay,
Correct.
we get to dance and we get to dance class. I would say every class to the
Mm.
point where I used to faint from dehydration because I forget to drink water. I was so skinny. Remember that? You remember Kim was skinny, skinny, skinny. I
Wow.
would, yeah, man, but that was the whole thing, like I said, like, I can just speak on it, and I said, no, but I think it's time for me now because I just got
You
so much things that happened in my
to
career that,
unpack. Yeah, that you
yeah,
got to unpack. And before we leave this earth, right? You need to
yeah,
tell your story and let people know.
yes.
But tonight, stop again in my
All right, get on. All right,
bed.
again, back to you. All right,
Get you back
keep going with
too.
that. Yeah,
But
There
Lynn,
you
I
go,
am
guys.
so happy that we had this conversation, that we did this, and I know. you know, everybody, malicious Bajans, everybody that want to know the stories gonna log on to this show just to hear it. So yeah, looking
Yeah,
forward to it,
I got
Ricky.
enough to say. I just say some more. Like I said, I don't want to. Like I said, I want to start from the beginning and do it in canon, you know, and then get the full swing.
Yes.
And then when it was in Ivory, when it was that one, Benny Aline,
Yeah, so we gotta do a whole segment, how
Yeah.
much week segment? God, this can
But
take
you
a
know what?
while.
There's a thing. I want to talk about my experience with Benny Ali on your show, not on mine.
Yes.
I want to talk about your show because my experience with her is hardcore. Wow. Hardcore.
Yep.
Yes. And when I tell the thing, when I tell my story about what she did to me, right? And I hope she see it too. And she's over 40 years. But I ever see she.
They say repentance only comes after.
Yep.
Correct.
But see, and I see.
Hold on.
Yeah.
With that being said, we gotta go.
Yeah. Go on, brush your teeth and fart. And go on,
I can't beg my boss. See.
Good. All right, then. All right, so
have a good one.
Let me know next Friday. Because you know, I was gonna
yeah.
I was gonna go on my live tonight, but I'm gonna go tomorrow, man. And do that now.
Yeah. Tomorrow we could do a live. Me and you.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. Love you, Ricky.
Peace out. Love you. Peace out.
All right, Kerwin. Good night.
All right.
But don't forget, leave your thing on so that we can download.
Hold it. Oh, I was just about to turn it off. Yeah, hold it on.